Leg.
Yes, hi.
The stream is live, so no more of that communist talk.
No more of what talk?
What's that?
Huh? I don't know what you're talking about.
Are we ready?
Uh, no more talking about how I'm boosting a league account right now.
Wow.
Is that what we're talking about?
Wow. um, is this a goodness of your heart kind of thing, or a PayPal
No, I need to pay my rent.
kind of thing? That's great. Would you boost my Overwatch account to Diamond?
No, I
No.
don't boost in that game. I'm not good enough at that game to boost in it.
Yeah. Um, okay, great. So who's ready for a recap? I need to hear some excitement. Woo!
I'm very excited. I really am dreading the fact that I'm in this game right now. I want to play fucking D&D.
Oh well, it's a it'll be a while. So you. All right. So last week. Last week, the party found themselves in the lair of the Cheese Right, a well-known business leader in Provost. As Safeguard demanded his surrender on the charge of the attempted murder of the Queen, the party were subdued by a host of fiends from the Nine Hells. As Versailles took up a sniper position on a nearby rooftop, B transformed into a giant eagle and crashed through a window with Varn in tow. B suffered an infernal wound as bearded devils carved into her with a vicious glaive, forcing B to return to her furbolg form. Meanwhile, as Ren prepared to enter the fray, he prepared Saloon for the fight, instructing her to get Adney to safety if things turned against them. The Cheese Right overcame Safeguard's will momentarily, forcing them to drop their weapon and march away. However, Adney picked up the heavy spear and implored Safeguard to snap out of it. She used her bardic training to fortify Safeguard's mind, and the Warforged protector once more grasped their spear and faced down the devilish host. As the party turned their offensive might upon the Cheese Right, they retreated into their fireplace, urging the flames outward, setting the room ablaze and revealing the true form of a fiendish tiger. Saloon was almost knocked down, and Octavian was banished as the tide seemed to turn against them. But the vicious Rakshas's injuries proved too much, and they escaped to another plane, leaving the party to mop up the remaining fiends. As the flames grew out of control, Ren quickly searched the Cheese Right's office for evidence, and the party escaped on the back of B's giant spiders, one of which she affectionately named Jumpy Back. The party was joined by onlookers on the street who watched the building turn to ash. Safeguard left to update the Queen, as B questioned Saloon about her mother's fate, to which Saloon failed to provide a suitable explanation. As the party began to make their way back to the safety of the Forgotten Ingredient, the rain has begun to abate, and the glow of the moon again breaks through the clouds and reflects off the slick cobble. There is a light on the bottom floor of the Forgotten Ingredient, with the promise of a respite to reflect, heal, and prepare. As the threat to the Queen and the city has been dealt with momentarily, preparations for the defense of Provost are underway, as the impending dawn, mere hours away, will appear in the east, the same direction as lay your destiny. And this is where we begin.
So the main group is now back at the Forgotten Ingredient, right?
I mean, at this point, I think everybody is, right? Because we're starting in the morning? Question mark?
If everyone just says they take a long rest, we can start in the morning. Otherwise, you can do whatever you want to do before you go to bed.
I'll hit that long rest button. Why not? Boom.
Okay, so if there's no objection, everyone enjoys a long rest at the Forgotten Ingredient.
So I guess this is
Do we level up?
Yes.
Okay. Really?
Yes.
Interesting. All right.
That's
all
never
right.
worked before.
How do you level up?
So you click on your character sheet. There should be like the little anvil with like a hammer hitting it. That'll take you to your character builder, and then you can just level up your class.
Okay.
Yeah. So since you're a mono class, it should just show you all your things, and you just select the little drop down area that says level, increase it. All right. Level 8 fighter means cool things. By cool things, I mean in ASI.
Oh, nice.
Wait, are we level 11 now?
I believe so.
Okay.
Full sight is like seeing in the darkness, right?
What is it? Devil Sight?
Yeah,
Uh,
Devil Sight lets you see
Magical
through
darkness.
magical darkness, and I believe it increases. I think it grants you dark vision if you don't already have it, but the main thing is it lets you see through magical darkness.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Pretty good. Let's see. I think I'm gonna be boring, and I'm just gonna take a feat because I have not taken like a single ASI. I'm gonna take tough because I get hit a lot. Hell yeah, we got triple digit hit points now, baby.
Ooh, shit.
We're at 110. But yeah, I think I'm done with feats for now. I have pretty much everything I want. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, maybe slasher eventually, but like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is Octavian usually like, soldier background and someone to be early to rise?
Yeah, definitely. Why I usually take a last watch for when we're out and about.
Okay.
Why would he see something interesting?
No, Ren would be up early and wait for Octavian to get up.
Okay. Good morning, Ren. Nice to see that you are in good health and not burnt to the crisp.
Yeah, a little toasty. Been worse. You took a trip of sorts.
Yes, unfortunately. Absent from that.
Remind me, was Octavian banished before or after Cheese Ray changed into a Rakshasa?
Before. I think he did like literally the same turn after I went bye-bye.
Yeah, you missed it. I mean, I'm known as the Tiger, but turns out the Cheese Ray actually is one.
Tiger-headed fiend.
Yeah, it's
Interesting.
fucked up hands. Still don't know how that makes sense.
Well, perhaps he did not want to give me in particular the satisfaction of knowing his true face. Well, don't think I am the one to worry about.
I think he knows, you have an axe to grind or a sword to grind, and you were the one right there.
Perhaps. But I think he has more to worry about from Safeguard than me. Sure, I have a personal vendetta. Safeguard has a religious one. One of those is significantly more dangerous.
Never underestimate a grudge.
True. What about you? Did you find anything interesting in the in his office?
Haven't looked. I left it out to dry in case any of you got wet in the run over. So, the others can look at that. We're wasting time. Let's go. And Ren will turn to leave.
Okay. As you exit, you would notice that the streets are dry. The sun's rising, and it is a cool morning. You would notice as you come out, there's actually some figures who appear to be laying in the grass near the front path of the Forgotten Ingredient. And there's a wagon at the edge of the gate that has a certain symbol on it. And you would see a goblin sitting in it, sort of dozing up on the front boards.
Goblin wagon, is that Varn?
No, this is a wagon that you haven't seen before.
Okay.
The figures in the grass, as you look at them, you would notice that there's about half a dozen goblins who appear to be sleeping in the grass.
Okay.
This is interesting.
I did not expect that.
Perhaps they are stabbed men wanting payment.
As you're talking, you would hear one of them sort of kicks his foot like a dog with his belly being scratched, and he goes.
Best to let sleeping goblins lie, I think.
I agree with you on that.
Where are we going?
You'll see.
All right.
So you're attempting to sneak past them without waking them?
I guess.
You know what that means.
Stealth checks.
Wow!
I think we need one from me with disadvantage because I'm an
Oh, like-
armored boy.
We could do it as like a group check.
Okay.
Okay.
4.
4. 22 would be pretty good.
Yeah, it would be, wouldn't it?
I'd say yeah,
That's an
That's
average
a
of
crit.
16?
with that nat 20, I think that pushes us over, and you're able to sneak down the path away from the Forgotten
Okay.
Ingredient.
I time my footfalls with their snores.
Yes, it was not a high DC. Excellent. So, Ren, did you have a are you looking for a particular place? Or are you just looking around?
Not. I mean, I don't. I mean, I as Cobra, I don't know. Just the nearest decent breakfast place.
As you are coming to the end of the walkway, and you begin kind of walking down the streets, probably. Would you, from where you are, would you stay into the market sector and kind of walk into that area?
Yeah, definitely not towards the cheese quarter.
Yes. Looking over your shoulder, you might actually still see a little bit of smoke sort of clinging to a certain area to the southeast. So if you walk a little bit farther with your passive perception, you would notice a particular establishment. 1 second. And you would actually see a place called here it is, yes. The Violet Grotto. And there would be a sign that would say, breakfast specials.
This'll do. If there's like is there outside seating?
Well, it's funny that you should ask.
Oh.
I got a map.
Prepared on the map, not prepared on the name.
Yeah, on Roll20 it just says breakfast place. Coming up to the door, you would not see any outside seating beyond some crates and barrels.
Ren would go in.
Excellent. As you enter, it's a nicely appointed place. You would see something of a barmaid behind the counter getting some drinks. You would see what looks like a farmer with his daughter having a nice breakfast, and there's a pair of gnomes sitting by the fire. One of them smoking a pipe. The other one appears to be looking at some sort of a parchment. Welcome to the Violet Grotto. Two for breakfast.
Yeah.
Excellent. Right this way. And, why can't I grab that token?
Ren would say something in a corner if you've got it.
Yes. Oh. It's on the wrong layer, that's why. Right this way. And, show you to this table, ask you if it was alright.
Yeah, it'll do. Thank you.
I could get you started with something to drink.
Coffee, black.
I'll bring a carafe right out.
The correct way to drink your coffee.
Yes, out of a carafe.
Correct way to drink coffee is down the drain.
And she would disappear for a moment.
We lost Saloon.
Oh no.
She's upset I didn't invite Saloon out to breakfast.
Oh no.
No.
I mean, she did leave when Ellis said that the character left, so maybe she's just role playing really, really hard right now. Like, yep, I left.
After a moment, she would bring you back a large carafe of what looks like deep black coffee, along with a little caddy which has what looks like little creamers and some different little shakers of sweeteners. She'd say, you ready to put in your food, or do you need another moment?
Something hearty. Eggs, meat, browns.
I second this.
We can do that. 2 plowman specials. I'll be right back. She would scurry away.
Interesting name.
Yes. Ren, with your passive perception, you might overhear the gnomes speaking a little bit, and you might overhear a little snippet of a conversation.
Okay, what do I hear?
Well, she's insistent on more of her people dying, so be it. It seems a folly to me for more people to die in this conflict. They seem to be reading the latest issue of the what looks like, from your view, the Cat Feather Chronicle, and they're discussing the political situation.
Oh boy.
So what's this about, Ren? What have I done to deserve such a luxurious treatment?
Yeah. About that. How long has it been, Octavian, since you led your army, since you were a general?
A decade. Not since... Well, I have not held any sort of leadership position since leaving Tycon.
You know, it's what you were supposed to do for us, for our group, right?
Right.
When I got here and met with Lamless, he told me about this great Vanadori commander that I'd be working with. He said a praetor, as if I knew what that was. But you said you were a virtuous person and a leader of men. You said a man to be looked up to. And you seemed the part. You did. You gave speeches and you helped people, and I believed it. But I realized you were lost. Just like all of us, just like me, especially. And that was a disappointment. Because I was hoping you would be more. I've always had leaders. Beast, my master. And I was hoping that I would have something like that here. It's much easier that way. But I realize that's not your fault. You're not responsible for what someone says about you. You're not responsible for my expectations. So, I did treat you unfairly a bit.
Well, in your own words, I do think I have my head up my own ass for a while. It's just, I don't know. You have a reputation, and well,
I know,
sometimes
but
I just don't feel like I deserve it.
I know all about reputations. And I certainly deserve mine.
That's where I think you are wrong, Ren. I never knew the tiger. I never knew of the tiger. I've only known you. You're a far better person than you give yourself credit.
Maybe now, but I deserved everything that's been said about me in the past.
Probably. But that is the past. You made damn sure to blow it to hell. And I think you will be remembered for the deeds that you do on land rather than what you've done at sea, if that is any consolation.
I'd be content simply not being remembered at all.
Sometimes we don't get to choose.
Ain't that the truth? But I want to say that I think you can. You are those things, Octavian. At least you could be. You Sorry, I was thinking.
As you're thinking, the barmaid would come back with a large platter full of fried eggs, different meats. There's some very nice ham steaks, bacon, sausage links, along with a platter of what looked like perfectly crispy hash browns with steam still coming off them. She'd say, "You gents enjoy."
Thank you.
I'm gonna give her a nod.
Mm-hmm.
Not only can you be this person, you need to be Octavian. Because I don't think you can do what needs to be done if you're not.
That you are correct.
There's two sides to you, Octavian. There's the stalwart, upright soldier of truth and justice and all that is good. And then there's a darker side, who's all too ready to cut down something in his way rather than finding another way around it. the first time around with Domgeet. You're a trusting man, and that's not the horrible thing that I make it out to be most of the time. You were deceived, led astray, lied to, and that's okay. That's understandable. Things happen. It's forgivable. I know I make fun of it, but that's just because it's funny. I don't judge you for that. But afterwards, when we were confronted by Stab's goblin, you were ready to slaughter them all in the street, rather than take a small dent in your wallet, small dent in your pride, give them some money, apologize, and carry on.
Yeah, it's definitely not my brightest moment. I have no excuse. The only thing I can say is it's a bit emotional. Let anger cloud my judgment.
These times are more difficult than I imagine any of us have faced. Well, I think we've all had our own struggles, but there are things at stake here. I imagine both of us found ourselves caring about it more than we expected it to. I think it started out as just a job for both of us. And now look what we've done, what we've been up to. You worry me, Octavian. Because I never know which side of the coin we're going to get. Last night, you crushed an unarmed man's neck with your shield. Generals, leaders don't do that. And he points to himself, brigands. That's what we're for.
You're talking about the guy that Candle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cantus Herringbone.
Right.
If you want to give your speeches about being on the right side of things, doing the right thing, you have to follow it. Good people are hard to find and harder to keep. And if you do things like that, the example it shows to them
Right. Perhaps a bit overzealous in the interrogation.
the journey you and I have been on is coming to a close. Sooner, very soon. And I worry that, and I don't know, I guess I figured if I chided you enough, that I might drive it into your skull, but it's not the way. Maybe it had a little bit, but it's not the way to have. I should have done it. I should have spoken to you, and I'm sorry for that.
Don't be. I did not exactly make it easy for you.
But when your journey leads you away from this place, you need to be able to show to the people that do stay with you, the people that you will find along the way, that you are the right person for this. You are the right person to hold that. And he kind of points to where you keep the hilt of the nod.
Mm-hmm. Things I don't think I am. I told you it is a promise to my people. As soon as what's done is done, I will not hold it any longer. But you're right. That's not for me to decide, though. If I'm to be entirely honest with you, I am very tired. Thought my glory days were long behind me. Now to be thrust into this, I've really been making it up as I go along. Trying to be the person I thought I was. Perhaps the person I can be.
I think we're all making it up as we go along. You're trying to be the person you were before, and I'm trying to run away from it.
Well, you know what they say, opposites attract.
Okay.
But I do appreciate your companionship, Ren. You keep me a lot humbler than I do for myself.
I think everyone needs someone to keep them in check.
Do you want to know something?
Sure.
When he kind of looks around, Trixie, he hates the nickname, but he knows that he needs to be on
Yeah.
the sly side with it. When she awoke, and we spoke for the first time, she wanted nothing more than for me to put everything aside, run away. She didn't want things that I wanted. Icon. Returning to Hannon. None of it. Not even the crown that was promised to her. Welcome, Vorn. I wanted nothing more than to agree with her. And to stop being who I am. And yet I stay. Because I think this is the right thing to do. Even if I know that it will make me very unhappy.
Sometimes we do what we know isn't best for us. Is it a defect in our character to pick the hard path every time?
No.
I could have just stayed in my piss little fishing village, gotten on a boat every day of my life, and raked in a net and called it a day. No, I decided, age 13, I want to run away to Baldur's Gate. Genius fucking move that turned out to be, huh?
I do appreciate all of this. I needed it.
As much shit as I give you, some of it earned, not all of it. I do believe in you, in what you're capable of and what you can do, and I know you've got a lot of fight left ahead of you, old man. But if you keep your head about you and surround yourself with good people, that will keep you good. Will keep you on the right side of things. You'll do it. Just know that I'm not going to say always, but there are other options than the blade, than fighting. And Ren is going to take out his amulet of Ix and kind of slide it across the table to him. When Hannon is squared away, and you take the fight to Nire, find Ix, find DM. If Nire has been found, then they surely must be able to be found as well. Lord knows what Belate is doing up in that mountain. But don't just march in there and try and take Nire's head off. I think you'll get the help you can.
I will. One step at a time, though. I have 2 more wars to fight.
Oh, you mean what's going on here?
Yes, that is the first one.
Ah, it's not a war. It's a scuffle. We got it.
Soldiers marching in lockstep. Subterfuge. Sounds like a war.
I was
Just
being
because it is not measured in tens of thousands does not mean it is not a war.
I was being facetious. See if you can find a sense of humor along the way, my friend.
I am certainly trying. It is, it's not something that I was blessed with, even amongst my own company of soldiers. I was definitely the stick in the mud for a long time. Never really grew out of it.
You and I have a feeling. You're, how old is Octavian?
He's about just over 60.
And I think you're a 60-year-old tree, hardly rooted in the mud.
Yes, but trees are difficult to move. And provide good cover as well.
Huh. I'll learn to hide behind you then.
That shield isn't just for show. Speaking of shields, I do need to make a stop at the refugees. Figure out what is going on between them and the Queen's soldiers. See if they can, well, see what sort of tension between them.
I have no doubt you'll give some rousing speech to bring everyone around. Just make sure that it's honest and you can live up to it too.
Yeah. Yeah, I could probably do that. If there's nothing else, we'll
That's about
finish
what
breakfast.
I had.
Okay, yeah. Well, finish breakfast and we'll get a move on.
The proprietor would have explained that the Thai breakfast with the coffee would be 1 gold.
Ren will give her.
Huh?
Ren gives her 3 gold
Ah.
and says, "Keep the faith. The rightful queen will make this place better again."
Her face lights up and she gives you a smile with a solemn nod. And as you are exiting, does anyone want to make a perception check?
As Ren, always.
Sure.
Wow.
Wow. That's a rare.
It's still a
I'll-
10.
It is still
I'll
a
do
10.
one.
It is still a 10. Okay.
15.
Ren, you might have noticed this before, but Octavian, as you are exiting, you would notice that the gnome has tossed the paper onto the empty chair with the headline facing up, and you'd be able to read it with that roll.
What does it say?
It would say, I put it in the Roll20 chat.
Hmm. Interesting.
I mean, those two headlines aren't linked. Like, Altered Spring has nothing to do with Aelswith, right? Like,
No, they'd be 2 different stories.
Okay, good to make sure.
The
But
sorceress Aelswith.
I'm like, that doesn't track.
No. Excellent. So while you are proceeding to your next errand, shall we check in with the group at the Forgotten Ingredient?
Yeah.
Excellent. So checking back in at the Forgotten Ingredient, I believe B, Saloon, Adney, Safeguard, Versailles, and Varn would all be picking up after a long rest. Is anyone not there? I know Safeguard has a certain rest cycle.
Sorry. What'd you
No
say?
idea where I am.
I'm just wondering if everyone would be starting their day at the Forgotten Ingredient, or if folks had.
I mean, yeah.
You would have been out Safeguard, and then you would have come back late, regenerated, or
Yeah.
whatever you do. Great. So where is everyone? There's rooms upstairs. There's rooms downstairs. That's it.
I am sleeping in.
Okay. Versailles, I think you had a room upstairs.
Yeah, she's already up for the day. She's downstairs by the fire, just staring into the flames, thinking.
Okay. Let me, because I don't think of all the. Okay, so I made the map for the breakfast place we're never going to come back to, but I didn't make a map for our main base.
Priorities.
Yeah, I know. Wait till you see. I have 2 other new maps that we may or may not see today. Wait till you see them. They're completely unnecessary. Okay. Great. Versailles, as you come downstairs, you would hear some shouting. There's some voices that you don't know. And as you descend the stairs, you would see A-List. She's in the kitchen. She's trying to cook, and you would notice half a dozen goblins are actually scattered around the kitchen. They're scattering pots and pans above the countertops. There's flames shooting up from the stove. A-List is trying to fill a pot with water to boil potatoes. She looks over, sees you coming down, and says, Good morning, Versailles. Breakfast is on the way. And she gets bumped by a goblin. Have a few extra mouths to feed this morning. She puts the big pot of water on the stove, starts boiling it.
How did they get in here?
Apparently they were sleeping outside. They're waiting for your friend. And one of them says, Yes, we hungry, but we pay nice, lady. Don't worry, we not thieves. By the way, where Varn? He have our money. No me say he here.
I haven't seen him since last night.
And Varn, where would Varn be? Is Varn inside the house, or is he in his wagon? Where would Varn be this fine morning?
I have no idea where I am.
This is your opportunity to decide.
Where exactly are we?
We're at the Forgotten Ingredient, which is the Renaud's alchemical shop, which also has plenty of guest rooms.
Oh, okay. I guess Varn would be sleeping in his room still.
Okay, great.
You know, probably the second floor of his second floor room.
Yeah. So certainly you can decide when he's awoken by the noise or when he comes downstairs.
So floor 2.5.
Okay. Like a loft. Loft.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect.
It's the only single story floor that has 2 floors.
Yes.
I mean,
it's like
what time did we go and get in from the shenanigans?
Vorm, have you ever seen the movie Hocus Pocus?
Yes.
I'm picturing that guy's bedroom that has like stairs up to like the clock tower or whatever. Remember the bedroom?
Yeah.
You're up in the tower.
Yeah.
We would have got back from you would have arrived from the cheese quarter back to the Forgotten Ingredient probably around 2 a.m. Does that sound right to everyone? I think that's what I had as an internal.
All right, because I know we didn't go and get started until
2:30. Yeah.
Like late night. So
Yeah.
okay.
You got there just before midnight with the warrant for the arrest.
Right. Okay. And what time is it currently?
Let's say 3, 8, say about 10:30.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, math is not something I do when I wake up.
I'm trying to factor in 8 hours.
Yeah. All right. So yeah. Varn will stumble down in. You know those old like red pants looking things that
with the flap in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly what you meant.
Yeah. Varn will stumble down in a pair of those with the fancy, sexy suspenders.
Wow.
And he's got the dented mug that he threw through the window.
Yes.
And he's coming down for food at this point.
Excellent.
Still like rubbing the sleep out of his eyes, as I'm doing here in real life. And sorry. Oh,
this is great.
This is. See, now you got to be committed to your role. So yeah, he comes down, and this mug is like dented all out of whack. There's not a flat edge to it anywhere at this point. And he goes and is there like coffee or tea or something like that?
As you're coming down, you would see Versailles, who appears to have gotten to the bottom, and she's just kind of standing there looking at the scene. On the table, you would find some coffee, some cups, and sweeteners and things like that. And, you would actually notice, Varn, as you're coming down the steps to the first floor, you would see these goblins in the kitchen. One of them appears to just be eating whole eggs, and there's another goblin cracking eggs into a helmet. Another one next to him is just eating the shells. And the first one, he begins scrambling them with a rusty dagger. And he says, "Pretty hoomy lady, you have peppercorn, makes eggs taste good, and makes Zamrak sneeze. Choo!"
Are these friends of yours, Varn?
No.
Then why are they in here? And disturbing Alis?
I don't know.
Could you maybe help me herd them outside?
Has you ever herded cats?
I wouldn't need to. I only ever had one.
Oh.
And it would listen to what we had to say.
Well, this is going to be difficult then.
What if you just tell them there's shinies outside?
But then I have to put them out there.
Ninjas.
You is. Varda goes and he stops mid-sentence, wanders over to the table, pours himself a cup of coffee, which he doesn't actually like, and takes a sip, looks at the cup of coffee, and just dumps it over his head, and drops the mug and wanders upstairs to go get the shinies.
Ah.
As he gets upstairs, he goes and starts counting in Goblin, and counts out 50, which is actually 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe it's 5 or 6 gold short, and just throws them out the back window. Yep, that's exactly the meme that, or the gif that I was thinking of.
Let me check.
And then wanders downstairs, picks up the mug, and goes and starts looking for hot water. Shinies is outside now.
Ah, they're Varn! Varn! And the goblins sort of swarm over around you. And they say, Varn, the Nomi say you have the coin.
It's outside.
Outside? Why coin outside?
Because I dropped it.
Shiny, get dirty, then it not be shiny! And 3 of them run outside. They start digging around in the garden. And Ayla says, My petunias...
You wanted them out. Wait, how many of them were in there to begin with?
6.
So only half of them left.
No, there were 6 total. Oh, yeah, and 3 ran out, correct.
Varn looks at the others and just goes and says, they're taking your goldies.
The shinies! And the other 3 run out. The last one, who had the helmet full of eggs, was about to cook them, but instead he just starts drinking the eggs out of the helmet and runs outside with the other ones.
You're welcome.
And Alis is sort of sitting there. She looks just like dumbfounded. As she does this, Elise comes in from another room, and she's got on her armor and her sword, and she says, "That's it. If they won't leave, I'll." Oh, and she puts
They
the
left.
sword back in the sword frog. And she says, "Oh, well done, Varn.
Takes one to know one.
What did they want exactly? The money?
Yeah.
A good thing you didn't spend it on anything else."
I didn't have time.
I'll repay you, Varn.
I already got 2 and another times as much as they were as we were supposed to go and have.
Oh, don't let them hear that.
Well, that was all of it.
Can they count high?
He eyeballs everyone. He says, "That was all of it, right?"
You eyeballed one of the outside?
I eyeball everybody who's standing in the room.
Oh.
Now, why is it that when I'm typing 4-5, it's typing 3-4? What the fuck is going on?
4, 5, 3, 4. That doesn't sound right.
Yeah, like I'm trying to go and reduce the gold in my inventory by 45, and when I'm hitting 4, it's typing in 3 for some fucking reason. I broke my computer.
I actually have a friend who knows a lot about keyboards. Actually builds them in his spare time.
Is his name all okay?
Yes.
I do know about keyboards.
Yes.
You need keyboard help? Do you want me to build you a keyboard?
Why is my keyboard typing 3-4 when I'm typing 4-5?
Are you? Is it doing it everywhere? Like, or is
try
it
another.
just in the app? Like, try it on like
Notepad.
Discord.
We could also try using your number pad keys instead of like the ones above the key.
Yeah, I
letters.
don't have those. Unfortunately, it's just my laptop. But yeah, no, it was only in the app. so we're good.
Okay, then I don't know because that sounds like an app issue to me.
Yeah, I got it fixed. I just hit 5-6 and it typed in 4-5, so I'm fine.
Perfect.
Speaking of which, Cake and Saloon, would Saloon or B have heard this racket or woken up by this?
Yeah, I'd say that B has woken up.
Yeah, I'm awake too.
You would descend the stairs to see from outside. You might hear some scrambling from outside, and you would see Varn and Versailles beginning to. Well, at least Varn, I believe, was pouring coffee on his head.
He already did that. Now Varn is looking for hot water.
Yes.
He's gonna try to find tea
Does
while watching the goblins out the window.
Does Varn like smell like coffee?
Oh yeah.
Certainly.
And you're down in the kitchen, right, looking for hot water.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I B's gonna go over and pour herself a glass of coffee and all. She kind of she sniffs the air and says, Why does it smell like somebody dunked dirty socks in the coffee?" Oh, Varn, do you have coffee on you?
It's been a couple of days since I got a bath.
Varn, I don't think coffee's the best option.
It's better than water.
Well,
Water gets
now,
you sick.
now I may not be the smartest one out there, but I think water's cleaner than coffee.
Where are you from?
Uh-huh.
Varn asked you where you were from.
Oh, I thought you said where you're from. I see. I'm sorry.
I mean, either way, it's
Yeah,
either him
that's a-
going and questioning what kind of insanity you're thinking up from wherever it is that you're from. Because he's a goblin, and goblins aren't exactly known for baths.
I come from the forest, but I don't really get dirty per se. I don't really bathe, as they say.
Me either.
Well,
Are you clean?
Well, I think I'm clean. I mean, my hair's kind of a mess, but that's just a quirk that I have, because I'm quirky. Sorry.
Varn looks down at himself and goes and says,
I feel clean.
Well, you don't smell clean, that's for sure. So we're definitely going to have to get that coffee off you at some point.
Varn, have you ever seen a, I don't know if it's actually scared, but like a, we'll say an angry squirrel up in a tree?
Where their legs are like spread out, like front legs are spread out a lot, and they're just kind of like staring daggers
like,
at you.
They're up there, they're like screeching and yelling at you and whatnot, and
Yeah, sure.
very much angry with their fur all puffed out. Yeah, that's what Varn is trying to go and do at this point, on top of like a bookshelf or something like that, and it did make quite a bit of a mess.
Now, Varn, hear me out. I haven't taken a bath ever since I was born, but I ain't smelly, and I'll tell you my secret. But I don't want anyone else to know, so come down. I'll tell you my secret.
You're not gonna wash me.
Varn, I promise. And I put my right hand up. I promise on the good people of the Fey Forest, you will not be washed.
I wasn't into Fey Forest.
Well, I promise I won't wash it. Don't worry.
He looks at Versailles. He says, "Was you into Fey Forest?"
Yes, I was in the Fey Forest, and she will not let any water touch you. Or soap.
Was there actually good people there?
Well,
I never met these people, but I'm sure they are very well mannered.
all the people that I met that weren't from my sort of group, even though they weren't really people, they were pretty nice. They were weird ghost things, but they helped us. Gave us some food, some shelter. And I met the rest of these guys too.
Okay. And Varn, so typical of short people, Varn goes and like slides off the edge of the counter or the bookshelf or whatever it is, and catches like his fingers on the edge and is like kind of kicking a little bit before dropping to the floor. And there's just like coffee streaks going down the side of the cupboard or whatever it is at this point, and he very cautiously inches closer, waiting for somebody to try to like grab a hold of him. And go and say, "How you do it?"
Well, Varn, the trick is, I don't wash myself as me. I wash myself as a kitty. And B is going to cast Wild Shape on herself and turn into I think I can turn into a tiger. Hold on, let me look at my druid craft.
Varn blinks in pure confusion and miscomprehension of what the hell it is that you're talking about.
Okay, I think yeah, I can turn into a tiger. I am now a tiger.
Now he's blinking at the fact that there is now a very large cat, and I'm gonna guess this is either the kitchen or dining room.
And as a tiger, B's gonna I'll lick the back of my paw and sort of like wipe it on my face, and then I'll look at you, sort of like with eyes as like, now you try.
Varn looks at his hand, sticks his tongue out, and like slowly licks his hand, makes a very disgusted face, and goes and says, "Someone throw me in water."
Okay,
Now, Varn, are you sure you want one of us to throw you in water?
No, but it's gotta be better than licking this crap.
Oh yeah, you're covered in coffee and you hate coffee. Oh man.
He's covered in coffee, probably dirt, and
Blood.
no,
Yeah,
he
blood.
doesn't have any blood on him, but he's probably covered in coffee and dirt and just grime from
Coffee
whatever
and dirt.
it is.
What's the difference? Ha.
That's that. Well, I do define coffee as burnt water, so yeah. So yeah, no, he's very much not liking this concept of clean any more than he does getting washed. But he figures that if you throw him in water, he can't help but get wet, so he should be fine. He's not actually bathing, he's just getting wet.
Alright. Ayla, do you have a wash tub nearby?
Alis would hear her name and turn and say, yes, I do. Is that a tiger?
It's just B, don't mind her. Can we throw Varn in the tub?
First goblins, then a tiger. Now I have to wash another goblin.
No, you don't have to wash him, just throw him in the water.
Well, I've got some water boiling here for potatoes. Perhaps we could...
It doesn't have to be hot water.
I'll fit in that.
Boiling water, just throw him in the boiling water. Scald him alive. Oh no.
Well, this motherfucker.
It will cook the stuff off of him at least.
You will be very clean in theory.
Yes. She'd say that there's a wash basin out in the garden, and then there's also a proper bath in a side room.
Has Saloon come down the stairs? By the way.
Have you, Saloon?
I'm actually looking for Adney right now. She downstairs?
Oh, as you come out of your room, you would actually see Adney. She's coming out of her room, and it looks like she's coming downstairs.
I'll call out to Adney like, Adney, wait, I gotta talk to you about something real fast.
Oh, Saloon, did you smell that? Is that bacon?
It smells like something I ate once with Ren, but I don't really know the name.
Oh, please, if you
No,
haven't had
it's
bacon
it's
before.
overcooked Varn.
Yeah. Is that a goblin boiling to death, I smell?
But, you're like royalty, right? And this whole war thing it's happening because like people are mad at your mom.
That's a large question, Saloon. In a simplified way, that's you could look at it that way.
Oh, do you think you have time to talk about it, or do you want to go down there instead?
I mean, we could discuss it over breakfast, but if you want to speak privately, that's fine. If you have any questions, I'll tell you what I can.
The others get mad at me?
Why,
No.
why would anyone be mad at you, Saloon? You've done nothing wrong.
I'd be questioning things and stuff, because Octavian told me to think about joining you guys, but there's some things I want to be sure of before I do.
Well, you acquitted yourself quite well in that battle against that vicious Domgeet. I thought for a moment you were in a bit of trouble, but you came through all right.
Yeah, I'm meaning like choosing sides stuff.
Well, if you'll forgive me, in my mind, there's only one side to choose. It's the side of reason. These people that you say are mad at my mother, it's a bit more complex than that. They've been tricked by a very persuasive half-elf known as the Archivist into thinking that actual god Tyr has judged my mother guilty of some crime, some fictitious crime. And those who are either too afraid or ignorant of the truth fear for their own mortality, which I can understand, but they fear the wrath of Tyr. So they just need to be shown that whatever they're worshipping is an illusion. It's not really our god Tyr.
Tyr, he's supposedly this god or something?
Yes, they call him the even-handed. He's all about justice and doing what's right.
Do you think maybe they're following Tyr because they don't feel like your mom is doing them right?
Well, that's what they've been led to believe, but I will tell you something in confidence, Saloon. Trust you won't repeat it, but my mother has been questioning our path of late. We hate to see more of the people of Hannon lose their lives fighting each other. I've been wondering if there's a way out of it without so much bloodshed. Something yes.
Do you think something could have happened while you were gone with the others?
What are you alluding to, Saloon?
Well, sometimes people do things because they think it's right. I've had to do things before to survive, and maybe that's why they're doing this, because they have to survive.
I feel that once we reveal the truth, whatever it may be, I think people will realize their mistake, and I trust that my mother will give them clemency. I think that having to choose between one's queen and one's god is a decision that no rational person should ever have to make. It's a terrible spot to be in, to have to choose sides, especially when you're fighting people you've known your whole life.
Yeah. You think maybe when you were gone, your mom was super worried and stuff. She couldn't really tend to her people. Like, whenever I lost my mom, she couldn't tend to me anymore. So maybe your mom's like their mom. Since she stopped tending to them, they became alone and scared. And took the hand of what was offered to them.
If you're suggesting that my mother's somehow responsible for this war, I assure you, that's not the case. Adney seems a little bit upset.
I just want to make sure I'm not hurting people who have gone through things like me.
I think that what I overheard the others talking about is if there's a way, and she has her voice a little quiet, if there's a way to end this quickly without a protracted siege, as much as Octavian would love that.
So we don't have to go to war?
Well, if we can end it more quickly, I think that's what must be done. Otherwise, this could drag on for months and months. I don't think my mother's heart could take it.
Well, glad your mom is safe at least. I'm happy you were reunited with her. I don't want anybody else to have to get hurt.
Adney would reach out and touch Saloon's shoulder and say, "Thank you for that. I don't know what would have happened last night if we weren't all together, fighting on the same side. I think it would have ended quite differently, so I'm grateful for your help."
I'm happy to be here. I don't have to be alone anymore.
No, you don't. Now what do you say we get something to eat?
Okay, sounds like a plan.
She
Just so I know, head downstairs.
Yeah, she would follow close behind. So, B and Varn, as you're being shown the various locations of different tubs, you would see Saloon and Adney descending the steps.
Oh, no. Varn is definitely resisting this at this point. He's realized his mistake.
It's like trying to get a cat into the tub.
He's got his arms sprayed out to hold on to the tubs as we're trying to push him down into the water. And to be specific, it is Versailles and a tiger trying to push him into a tub, not B.
Okay, we need to get a commission of that. We need an artist.
Yeah.
His eyes will go wide. Oh my god, it's a kitty! Hands up to B. Pets B.
I'd imagine that the door frames now have deep claw marks just ripped through them.
Yeah. Not from the tiger.
Nope, not from the tiger. It was definitely Varn.
Being much smaller than a tiger.
He's screaming like a
This was your
child.
idea. Stop struggling.
It was a bad idea. It was a bad idea.
Then you should have said so beforehand. Too late now.
I don't want to get wet.
Do you want to keep smelling and tasting like coffee?
No.
Then all we're doing is a quick dip. Now stop resisting.
But it's wet.
I'd like.
You'll be dry in just a moment.
You're lying.
Hey,
Never
not
like
tiger. B's gonna walk around to face you head on, and I'd like to just roar into your face in hopes to scare you so that you let go and fall into the water.
As a tiger, do you want to try
Yes.
intimidation with advantage?
Yes. Very much.
Varn, you can
What's my
decide.
intimidation as a tiger?
Yes, Varn can decide if it's effective.
Alright.
I mean, he knows who it is.
Yeah.
We'll make this a little more interesting. I'm gonna go and roll an insight against it.
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah.
Well, also keep
Let's
in mind, B, Just to keep in mind, as a wild shape, you keep your mental stats, only your physical.
Oh,
stats
thank
change.
God. I was gonna say a tiger has a -8 charisma. This is bad.
Okay,
Well,
13's
I
the
also have
number
a
to beat.
+0 charisma. Or -8, and 8 charisma, excuse me. Yes,
Well,
no.
you gotta beat a 13.
Well, I got a
Oh,
13 if it
if it
jeez,
meets, it
what do we
beats.
do?
If it beats, it beats. I think it's Varn's choice. Are you intimidated by the tiger?
I mean, this is water we're talking about. I don't think so at this
Okay.
point.
Varn just
I
shrugs
mean,
it
you're better off just going and trying to like pounce on the back of his skull,
Like
and
to pounce
pushing
on the
him in.
back of his skull, please.
Yes, please roll a pounce.
What would that be? Strength?
I don't know. Do you? Does the tiger stat block have anything?
And yeah.
I
Actually,
mean-
I think it does have a. I think it does have a. Let me see.
I'd
Yeah,
say
if a tiger
roll
moves
a
at least
strength.
20 feet straight forward towards a creature, and then it hits with a claw attack on the same turn, the target must succeed on a DC 13 strength saving throw or be knocked prone. If the target is prone, I can make a bite attack. So basically, I can like jump in combat. If
Oh, wow.
I attack once and they fail a DC 13, I can bite them. But
So
it's just a
DC 13
it's a
strength.
DC 13 strength, so I'll roll strength.
This works
Yeah.
for me. No, I've got to roll a save.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep, I'm in the water.
Yeah. So
Describe what you do, B.
okay, so I roar in his face, and obviously it's not effective. So I'm gonna B sort of like slumps off behind, and I back up around as far as I can get into this kitchen, and I do that cat thing where I get really low to the ground, and you see my shoulder blades move back and forth as I start to slowly creep towards him.
If your ass isn't wiggling back and forth before
Oh
you
yeah,
fall,
100%.
I am very much disappointed, and it's an
I
auto fail.
am getting ready to jump on you.
Amazing.
Pupils are dilated, so they're huge.
Yeah.
Varn looks up over the edge of the tub. What is she doing?
And she takes a running jump, and well, I would say that I totally just like land square on your back, and just the pure
Oh, yeah.
weight just kind of pushes you straight down. And it takes B a while to, like a good 15 seconds before she realizes that her entire tiger body is just currently holding you underwater.
Wow. Look at this gif. Did you both post the same gif?
Yeah. As soon as I notice, I'll jump out of the water and turn back into B. And I'll reach into the tub and I'll pull you out by your shoulder and I'll say, Varn, are you okay? As I'm like shaking you.
Can you pull me up out of the water?
Huh?
Varn is crying.
No, I'm sorry, Varn. Varn, it's okay. It's okay. It's over.
You're now being accused of attempted murder.
It's not murder if it's a cat, right? I'm an animal. Animals can't be charged against the law. What, you gonna send a horse to jail?
Yes.
Rasai
But
comes
there's not
over
a
with some
horse.
towels
Towels.
to wrap around Varn.
Don't worry, Varn. I can get you, I can warm you up if you're cold. And I'll start to cast produce flame. So you see like a little fireball sort of form in my hand, and I'm like, don't worry, I'll warm you up real good.
Jeez.
Where are you while this is happening? Did you go outside or to the side room?
I want to say we're outside.
Okay.
All right, because this is like a trough, right? That we're working in.
I would
was
assume, yeah.
Yeah, I was
A horse
picturing-
trough would probably be the most fun.
Okay.
Now, the yard. I'm assuming this is dirt.
It's like, so there's like a garden, so there's like a flagstone path down to the street, and then over to the side there's a grassy area, and it's lined with different flowers and plants.
Barn rolls in it.
Mm-hmm.
to dry off.
You would hear a shout from inside the house. My daffodils!
Just, I was being murdered.
And now you smell like flowers.
This is even more disgusting.
You should
Go
just
get
taken
some
the
more
towels.
coffee.
I think you've had enough.
Of course I've had enough.
You might want to change into some different pajamas. These are gonna shrink on you if you keep wearing them.
At least they'll smell good. Come, you murder, you freaking bastard.
It was your idea. You apparently want us to murder you.
Well, it was a bad idea. You should have said so.
And then he goes and kind of waddles
I
into the
asked if
house,
you were
bitching
sure.
and complaining.
First, I will look at Bee and just shrug her shoulders, shaking her head.
Where's everybody else?
I am currently putting food on my plate.
Yes. At this point, Aylis has got most of the food coming out. Elise was able to help her a little bit, and food's hitting the table. And Adney is definitely tucking in alongside Saloon.
Where's Octavian? I have attempted murder to a report.
I am having breakfast.
Where is Octavian? Adney looks around.
I believe I heard him and Rin leave earlier this morning. They probably have some errands to run.
Oh,
I need to see him when he gets back.
And Varn goes and waddles up the stairs, wet footprints going up the stairs with him.
outstanding. At this point, there is a. Well, actually, did B come inside as well?
Yeah. B is. I mean, I'm assuming like my hands and feet are kind of wet, so I'll like shake them dry as best as I can.
Yeah.
But yeah, B'd like to go over and start, chowing down on whatever's available.
There would be a knock at the door.
Should I answer that? Should you answer that?
And you're back in Furbolg form, correct?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I'm just picturing a tiger sitting at the table.
Oh.
Trying to pick up coffee with big paws. Or excuse me.
Say it
bean
with me,
juice.
B. Say it with me. How's breakfast?
Oh.
Great.
There we go.
You wanted me to
Took
say
you
it?
a moment.
There it is.
I was like, tiger, breakfast, cereal.
Aylis would look over, hearing B's offer, and say, "Oh, if you would be a dear, I would so appreciate it."
All right, I'll walk over and open the door.
Opening the door, you would see a figure. Appears to be a male half-elf with a short-cropped sort of black haircut, graying at the temples, and a unusual for a half-elf, but he has a short-cropped black beard. He's wearing sort of a long brown coat, and he has a pouch strapped over his shoulders with like a black leather strap with a silver buckle.
It's the archivist. Matt, stab him.
He looks up and up and up into B's eyes and says, "Pardon me, is Ren here?"
Yeah, let me check. Ren! Are you here? She screams
around,
like into the
die!
house. Yeah.
I think he went out with Octavian. Says.
I think he went out with Octavian. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to yell.
He would look up at you and say, I believe we've met. I'm Lemless."
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Hi. Well, again, I'm B.
Yes. It's good to see you again. I heard a bit of what happened last night. I believe Safeguard filled the queen in on what happened with the cheese right.
Well, I don't think Safeguard's here right now. Wait, is Safeguard here? Yeah, Safeguard's sleeping, right?
They're sleeping in, yes.
Yes.
Well, do You want me to get Safeguard? I think they're sleeping.
No. That's fine. Miss Renaud, I see you have company. May I come in? She would say, "Oh, of course, please." Stepping through the door, Lamlas would nod to you, B, and say, Captain Renaud. Nodding to Elise. Elise would say, "Lamlas, is anything wrong?" Lamlas would say, I wanted to have words with Ren, but she's not here, and the Queen has also requested her daughter, Princess." Looking over at Adney, she looks up. There's like bacon hanging out of her mouth, and she goes, "Now?" And Lamla sort of sniffs the air, looks at the breakfast, and nods to Elise and says, "I think it could wait until after breakfast." He would come and take a seat at the table. He'd say, while I'm here, has anyone paid the goblins? We need to get them to work.
I think Varn might have thrown some gold for him. I saw him scrounging around on the ground when we were outside trying to give him a bath. Oh, you should have been here for that.
That's good. That's one less thing to worry about. One of Stab's lieutenants, I suppose, came by the temple early this morning looking for their money, and I said that we'd given it to Varn. So I apologize, Miss Renaud. That's probably why they came here. She'd say, "Oh, it's fine, Lamlas. Anything to help Her Majesty." And he would throw a paper on the table, and it is the Cap Feather Chronicle. He'd say, "There's some ill tidings from Altair. Here's the whole damn country's gone missing." You'd be able to see the same headlines that Ren and Octavian saw earlier.
Whole country has gone missing?
How do you lose a country?
Wait. So like the population or the entire landmass?
So they put up that barrier while we were there, and the
that's
mythal.
right.
And when we got outside of it, you can't, it just became an endless horizon.
Oh, I don't put much stock in that. Must be some mistake or some trick. This paper usually is just a rag anyway. Gossip columns.
Martin wanders down now
Is
dressed.
there a message in it? The people who were there?
We can circle back. Who was saying something?
Huh?
Were you saying something, Varn? I forget.
Oh, yeah. Varn wanders down now dressed.
Okay. You would see Lamlas, who you may or may not remember from the meeting of the Black Veil, which I'm pretty sure you were at.
Yeah.
You would say, Varn, good to see you. Stab got his coin then, I hear.
Yes,
What do you think?
they found them all. I don't know.
What you found them all?
Yeah.
When the Queen gave it to you, it was in a tightly tied sack.
It was. Yes. Do you know how long it took me to get that open? Anyway, they was in the house. I threw the coins out the window so that they would go and get them. So, as long as they found them all, then yes, they has been paid all of it. Or at least all of it that they wanted.
Well, we've given them directions to where the Vigilant are setting up their siege equipment, so if they can...
They should be fine.
They can do some damage there, spread a little chaos. I think it will slow them down.
Tell goblins, what do you think we do?
And he laughs you hear him laugh for the first time since you've known him.
That was wrong. Please don't do that.
What was that sound?
Terrifying.
Well, I had a bit of a plan, and he would he holds up a scroll. You could say, there's a map. Danric gave me this. It shows a path around the forest, bypassing Haverhill proper. Might be a way to get to the hold quicker, if that's our aim. Happy to discuss it with you and Octavian and Ren when they return.
Boogie boogie. How did you lose on a land exactly?
Well, that's what they're saying. They're saying that no messages are getting through, and there's just no contact at all with Altair.
Well, I'm pretty sure if you just sail in that direction, eventually you will find it.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Whether you see it or not.
Well, that's what I think as well. Perhaps it's a theory that we can test when this business is over in the hold.
You let us know how it works out when you get back.
Adney would pipe up and say, I wonder, is it a matter of... I mean, have they drawn some sort of a line along the river? Like, is Gion... Are we able to contact our people in Gion? And Lamlas would nod and say, yes, no problem with Vardis in Gion. The situation merits a bit more investigation, if you want my opinion. And he would nod. Anything?
Alyssa, what?
Yeah, I was gonna say anything else with.
Would come back.
Yeah, I was gonna say anything else with the at breakfast before we check back in with Ren and Octavian.
No, we were done. It's just whenever you think time scale wise makes sense for us to pop back.
Well, didn't you guys have other errands, or are you just heading straight back?
Well, yeah, but I think probably want to touch base with everybody else and be like, all right, we gotta get our ducks in a row and figure out what we're doing.
Oh, great. Then you'd probably be back by now. Then I thought you were going to do those first, but yeah, if you were heading straight back after breakfast, you'd be walking in. Probably would have already been there, but probably by now for sure, certainly. Probably been
scenic route, whatever.
Yeah, it's probably been about half an hour since Versailles came downstairs and saw the goblins. Probably not too long.
Door open, and I guess unless Ren has something to do, but Octavian would be going back.
I do have a few things, but it can wait till after a conversation that the alchemist.
Okay. Yeah. So walk back inside and see that everybody's awake, and Lamlas is here. Lamlas, what brings you here?
He looks up and he's got like a mouthful of food. He's got a couple sausage links, and he says, Octavian, is Ren with you?
Yes.
Right behind.
Literally, like walks in right after me.
Excellent.
Ren's like, he's 1 inch taller than me.
Having a bit of breakfast. I've brought latest worthless gossip rag, hitting the Cat Feather Chronicle with his fork. And he says, and also a gift from Danric. And he would hold out the rolled up map, which has been tied with a crimson ribbon.
I take a look at the map. Is there anything special about it?
Yeah, it would show a path through the forest, and if you'd like, I'll just scooch over to this map quick. I think this is the best map I have right now. And it would just show, this is the skeleton, but yeah, it would just basically show a cut through the Hills of Han up here through the forest, and a way to get to the hold without going right through the main Vigilant campaign. The way to the
and
north.
like a. This is interesting.
Yes, he knows.
Is it a path that an army can take, or is this more of a small group?
From what Danric told me, it's something a little bit more clandestine in nature. Although we could ask him ourselves. And he would gesture to the window. And if you were to look up, you would see on the windowsill, you would see a crimson sparrow perched there, looking in the window.
I'll go and I'll just tap the glass like.
And you would hear a very friendly whistle as the bird is kind of nodding at you, hopping about.
No need to be a stranger.
That's a bird. Oh wait,
Anyway.
Octavian! The cat tried to murder me. And I point at B.
Last I checked, B is a furbolg, but can you describe the attempted murder?
She tried to drown me.
I give a whiff, and
Bro.
I
We're gonna say
tell
bravo.
Barn doesn't-
Almost
doesn't
succeeded,
smell like
too.
Barn.
I'll say bravo on fighting her off.
Who's hurrah?
All right.
Possibly a misunderstanding. Right. Let's see. Danric's not going to show himself, then I'll just kind of put the map to the side. Remember he said something about the cap feather. I just look at it.
First line makes sense. The second one I don't agree with.
Yes. Do not think there is a peaceful resolution to this.
Lamless would say, there's a certain sentiment, backed by the vigilant, no doubt, that if if the Queen was merely to submit to the judgment of Tyr, there will be no further bloodshed, but her persistence will only cost lives of the people of Hannon.
Yeah, well, same could be said about the archivist. If he takes whatever devil he's got there and fucks off, same situation.
Ha! Quite right, Ren, quite right. Lamless pounds his fist on the table in agreement.
A legitimate ruler will always be preferable to zealotism. And these people are so quick to think things will be better without war, but then they do not understand the cost of what defeat will bring.
Adney would nod to you and say, I'm sure that my mother would always take your counsel, Octavian. I feel that those who admit the error of their ways when this is over will be given a full pardon.
So long,
But those who don't,
do not need to worry about jailing or pardoning anybody. They will understand it for themselves. Especially once whatever truth about this god upon a throne comes to light. But nonetheless, it changes. I just kind of put the thing down. It changes nothing. War has always been the final solution to statecraft. When diplomacy fails, force is the only thing that will work.
as you know, Octavian, my mother's strength is statecraft and diplomacy, so I worry that she's a bit out of her element.
Of course she is. She's dealing with people that are not thinking logically. They're blinded by faith and or fear. Two very powerful things to overcome.
Well, Octavian, some think that peace and statecraft are but small breaks in the natural order of war.
Also true. As I said, it changes nothing. The hold must be free. And the people of Hannon deserve the right to fight for that freedom.
Adney's nodding enthusiastically.
Now, as for the rest, there are a few things that we still must take care of. We need to ensure that battle preparations are underway. that the city can be supplied. And there is also the matter of whatever tensions may linger with the Queen's men and my people. I do have to speak to them regardless, but that is what I intend to be focusing on today.
There's one last thing, Lamlas would say.
Hmm?
I say that if we do choose, whichever road we choose to take, I say that we bring our prisoner, this Cantus Herringbone. Maybe we can barter our way to getting my scouts back.
Could do that.
Are we sure your scouts are still in Haverhill?
If they're not, if we can't, then at least I can have the pleasure of removing Herringbone's head.
And shoot him after we go and get the guards?
I thought Herringbone was supposed to have a trial. That's what was agreed last night.
My recollection is that he identified the traitor who was dealt with, and that we would trade his life for the lives of my 2 scouts.
We were going to put the cheese right on trial, but
That's going to be a trial for all 3.
yeah, also true.
Well, one's gone.
Yes, unfortunately.
I tried.
Lamlas would say, in my opinion, the time for trials will be the same as the time for clemency, later.
I'm pretty sure the time for trials is after the burial.
Look, if we're going to Haverhill to bust things up, I think the only chance we have to save your scouts is to break them out at that time. If we only go destroys the siege equipment and retreat, I would assume your scouts are as good as dead.
Yes, and if we march forward for a prisoner exchange, we put ourselves at a disadvantage, because now the enemy has sights on us and our forces. They will be expecting something. Catching them by surprise will make them... It will make them scramble to defenses. They will not be worried about their assets, only the defense.
If we're going to move on to tactics, has anyone seen Safeguard? I feel like they should be here for this.
Will Safeguard be up by this point? I know you had a late night.
Yeah, but I don't. I'll probably walk downstairs and I'll hear my name and I'll ask you to repeat yourself.
Oh,
Oh.
good to see you. I was just saying, well, might be moving on to discussing tactics on what we do going forward. Thought you might want to be part of it.
I'd love to be part of it. I don't really have anything to add though. This is not my expertise.
Ellis, can you remind me of the layout of the hold and the surrounding geography and topography?
Certainly. So to the north, there's the wood where Danric lives, Oswald Wood. To the east, there's the bridge with the River Arvin, which flows into the sea. And then there's some sheer cliffs to the... I'm sorry, the west is the river. To the east, there are some sheer cliffs. To the northeast, there's the path which goes to Sinos and to Arvis. To the south, there is a fortified lighthouse tower called Cape Grace. And that is actually where in the time of the king, before the Vigilant, that is where the army was... the majority of the army would be trained, and there was the major barracks there. The city itself...
It's down in Cape Grace, correct?
Yes, correct. The city itself is, I believe we established that the city itself is not walled, but there is the walled keep. And there is the large vineyard, the Cohenred Vineyards as well. So there's a large vineyard which stretches off to the south.
Do we know anything about the... So we're going to kind of look at the map that's out. Do we know anything about the waters going around to possibly land on the other side? Are they controlled by the Vigilant? I don't think the Hannon had much of a navy.
Lamos would say, we don't. Mr. Candle did well to secure our supply lines to Vardis. We do hold that path. I don't know what forces they might have, if any, ships or scouts to the south. We've been the few ships we have been very focused on securing contact with Vardis as well as keeping an eye on the north.
I did have a thought about gaining access. So if we were to muster a strong enough force, make a proper assault on Haverhill, capture the siege equipment, dispatch as many Vigilant, hopefully saving your scouts, Lamless, and then march that towards the hold. Meanwhile, if we can send a retinue of soldiers around the water, because that would, I think, travel by sea, given its constancy, is going to be quicker than land. Landing on the other side, have a two-pronged attack on the hold. Meanwhile, our group can take Danric's path through the woods and covertly get inside, while the rest of the group is distracted by a proper siege on two sides.
It's a solid plan. The only problem is with the siege equipment and the troops on the ground would have to cross the bridge. That bridge would be... If I were the Vigilant, I would put most of my fortifications after Haverhill fell there. They will not give ground there very easily.
It doesn't need to be a successful siege, just a distracting one.
Fair enough.
And if they do have most of their fortifications there, then on the other side, if a proper threat appears there, they must split their forces.
Right. No, I am in agreement with this. But taking Haverhill will require considerable effort. And then to march troops, unless we have to hold troops in reserve, to send them across. But again, we do not know the safety of those waters.
Could Danric be persuaded to scout Haverhill in his delightful little bird form and try and get some numbers for us? Perhaps the wind will tell him.
I invited him in, but he seems to be content to stay on the windowsill.
Lamos looks up, looks at the bird and says, Danric, come on! And he goes up and he taps on the glass and he opens the window. There's a little crank. He cranks it open. And Danric kind of stays outside, or the bird stays outside, sort of looking in the window. And Lamos says, "Get in here! We need your help." And he would fly up to a nearby tree on a branch and begins pecking at an acorn. He says, "I'm sorry, Octavian. You know how he gets."
Give me a second. I'll go get my tools.
Please. Please don't.
We keep flying away.
I think right now...
Danric, wind beckons you inside. We must speak.
Miss Renaud, do you have any seed or some bit of berries, nuts, anything? She says, "Oh, of course." And she takes a little glass jar with like a gasket. She opens it up. She pulls off the top, and she takes a little bit of what looks kind of like trail mix almost, spreads it out on the windowsill. And after a moment, the bird sort of pecking at the acorn, looks down at the windowsill, flies down, starts eating it, and starts following the trail into the window. And now it's on the counter. And Alis very quietly closes the window behind him.
I was gonna say somebody shut the window, otherwise Varn's gonna have to go and slam it shut.
Someone smack the bird for 1 hit point.
Danric dies.
He turns into a giant bird and catches it.
It's actually,
Hey.
it's actually just a normal bird and we kill it. And then Danric's pissed.
The bird is going to peck at the mix a little bit and then is going to fly over to the table and starts pecking at the food on the table. It's pecking at the hash browns.
Hendrik, if that is you, the joke has gone on long enough. Please.
Suddenly, in the middle of the table, Danrick is now laying on the table with his mouth in the bowl of hash browns.
Really? Right in front of my fucking salad?
He says, my friends, when did you all get here?
Barnes slaps him in the back of the head. Get off the table! If I can't sit on the table, you can't either.
He does make a good point. Derek, we might need some assistance from your with your abilities.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry, y'all. Sometimes I rather forget what I'm doing.
Obviously.
Listen, we since we are down a few scouts, night Versailles. Since we are down a few scouts from Lamless's end, we might need a bird's eye view of the coming assault. So we are sorely lacking information. Do not wish to go into this completely blind. Would you be able to do some overhead scouting around Haver Hill and the waters to the south? We might be able to can get a better assessment as to what we will be facing in Haver Hill, and if the waters are somewhat clear, we might be able to get a secondary force around the side of the hold. Have a two-pronged assault.
He sort of climbs off the table and sits into a chair, sort of brushing bits of potato and food off of himself. He says, I could try. I think it would take some time, but I believe that I could do what you ask.
We
You
will
might
likely
want
have a
to
few
send
more.
B.
I cannot
Me?
turn into
Yeah.
a bee.
No,
No, not
he is
you.
in our Furbolg friend.
That one.
She is also a practitioner of druidic arts. Perhaps an assistant might help.
And I'm pretty sure she can count and not go and forget what she was doing.
Wait, you all see the furbolg too, right there? And he points at B.
No,
Yes.
there-
Mate, I think I seen me.
I thought I was hallucinating, so I feel much better.
you are.
Danrik, if I might make a slight suggestion, perhaps easing up on the pipe weed to be a
little less peyote. Oh, I have a question. What was the name of Ranger Leslie No? From like session 1?
Oh my god. I know it. Hold on.
Wasn't Leslie?
Susanna Avery.
Oh yeah, her.
Tanner, do you remember that's Susanna, the Ranger?
Of course. And you might remember the last time you saw Danrick, she was at his house.
No, she came with us back to Hannonhold when Ren went to contact the Queen.
Oh, that's true too. Yes, that's right.
We left her in the hold. When we last saw her, but that was 6 months ago. Do you know what she's been up to?
Oh, she should be in town somewhere, I believe. Lamros, do you know? Have you seen Susanna?
Is she in Provo?
Yes. Lamless shakes his head, and Danrick says, "Yeah, I believe we could make inquiries. She should be here. I haven't heard anything different."
I just didn't know. That probably doesn't matter. So if she was still in the hold, perhaps contacting her would prove fruitful, but...
But regardless, Danrik, do you think this plan would be? Do you feel capable of doing this for us?
Finding Susanna, I'm sure I could.
Well, that as well as the overhead scouting.
Scouting where?
Haverhill and the waters to the south.
Ah, I know Haverhill well.
Yes, I'm sure you do. We are attempting. You understand that we are attempting to go and take this place by force with an army, and we are sorely lacking information on their fortifications and troop numbers and whatnot.
Oh,
And
well,
unfortunately, they are in possession of scouts that would have such information. But perhaps with your ability to fly overhead, you might be able to at least give us some information.
Oh, well, Lamlish, why don't you send your scouts there? I already did, Danric. They've been captured.
Literally just said.
Oh, the shame. the shame too? Yes. Oh, well, we can't send them, can we? No. Oh, I better go have a look.
I have second thoughts.
I know he's old. Since when does he have dementia?
I think he just doesn't pay attention. Danric, would you feel better if we sent a partner with you who has similar abilities?
You mean, and pointing to B.
Yes, if she is willing.
And B will turn around and she's got, like, her arms just completely full of whatever breads are available. Like, this entire time she's just kind of been stuffing her pockets and stuff. Like, turns around, she kind of like loses some bread. What am I willing to do?
Well, I am proposing a something here for you to assist Danric with a little bit of scouting. See, Danric the druid, much the same as you, and he can turn into birds. Perhaps with the two of you, could scout over Haverhill and the waters to the south of it, so as we might be able to better ascertain information on the enemy.
How a little rusty on our journey. How long would a flight to Haverhill and back be?
Probably a day. We could do it. What do you think, B?
Sorry?
Probably a day to get there and back, is what I'm thinking. Flying.
Day of flying? Man, my arms are going to be tired.
Just flew in for Haverhill. Boy, my arm's tired.
Thank you. Be here all week.
Tip your bartender.
Does that sound amenable, B? It would be doing us a great service.
You know, I think I can manage it. I think I can do it.
God, a giant eagle flying speed 80 feet.
Hell yeah. Just fly high enough, they'll just think you're a regular sized eagle.
Lamla sort of punches the table and says, you know, every day that we delay just puts my scouts in more danger. Why not just go to the north, end this thing quickly?
You in what army?
Well, that's just the thing. Do we need a march a whole army, or can't we just sneak in and kill the elf?
I could eat him again.
There's much more than just an elf there.
Archivist is not going to be at Haverhill. I can assure you of that.
And as tedious a personality Rosalind Levert has, I doubt her weapon and holy wrath will be the same. Not to mention if such devilry as this tiger fiend, though Cheesewright turned out to be, if he was a tool, Lord knows what else they might have in the hold. Something is sitting on the throne, and it's not the divine.
If we can get Octavian or Safeguard anywhere near it, we'll find out what it is.
That's the plan. We must also make sure that the city does not starve to death. But point is there in winning a war if all of the people that you are going to rule are dead?
And if we march on and make our way towards the hold, and let's say we do kill it, and they send their siege to Provost, the word's not going to get to them in time, and Lord knows what they can do to this city.
We have to hit them.
And we have to make sure they don't hit us. Even if we kill the archivist or whatever's sitting on that throne, if siege comes here and they kill the queen, and then what's left?
Point is moot.
Adney would pipe up and say, well, that's actually something that Saloon and I were talking about earlier, that the longer this goes and the more people we lose in this fight. I'm afraid that this vocal minority against my mother might become a bit more emboldened. Finding a way to blame her for it, you see.
They will change their tunes soon enough once we show them the evil that we have saved them from.
Of course, I just pray it doesn't take too long.
It will take us I was planning on doing another day of supplying and speaking with my people, getting the Queen's men ready and on board. And then we were going to march the day after. We're just making better use of that time, having been in Danric for some scouting.
So I had a few things to take care of.
Yes,
And,
we got here and sort of hit the ground running, as it were.
Ren points to the Catfeather Chronicle. Word is getting out about some things. How about word gets spread around that the Cheesewright was a devil in disguise working for the abbot?
That would be quite useful to know.
Yes, I wonder, does anyone know who this Sir Quiverful is? Perhaps we could lean on them a bit to print something along those lines?
I thought the Queen would know, considering he leaves coded messages in for her people.
Well, Lemos would say, yes, well, I've tarried along for breakfast long enough. I must bring Princess Ethelyn to see her mother. Perhaps we can see if that's a secret she's willing to divulge.
Ren, what about the documents that you secured from the Cheesewrights thing?
Let them
Perhaps...
It's not really my cup of coffee, but I mean, anyone who wants to look at them is welcome too. I wasn't paying attention to what I grabbed. I literally just punched his desk apart and grabbed everything I could.
Right. I was saying maybe perhaps Adney, Ethelyn, and Landless take them, and they can pore over it with her mother. Perhaps it will give us, hopefully, some amount of intel on him and his dealings with the abbot and the archivist.
It's probably the best use of it.
So are you giving Adney and Lamless the papers from the Cheesewright?
Yeah.
Okay. They would take them.
Perhaps a good scoop for Sir Quiverful.
There's a hastily scrawled note. Mascarpone price up 2%.
Madness.
As you hand them over, Ren, would you glance at the top one?
Sure.
You notice that it is a contract with a goat herder for goat's milk.
Ew, feta. Ren doesn't know cheese. You don't get much cheese on boats for months.
That's true.
That's why I think B made mayonnaise. We're like, what the fuck?
Mayonnaise.
What the fuck?
Egg salad sandwich blew your mind.
That's what it was.
Yeah. Yeah, an egg salad sandwich is not going to keep on a ship.
No.
Amazing.
They had hardtack and watered down lemon juice.
Unless anyone needed them, Lamless and Adney would head out. Adney would kind of quickly clean herself up, put on, fix her hair a little bit and grab her jacket.
I'm gonna say to be covert when traveling. Who knows if there's any more of those little fuckers around? Spy.
Lamlas gives you a stern look, Ren, and says, "Don't worry, I'll keep you safe."
Right. Well, now that that is taken care of, Safeguard, would you wish to accompany me to speak to my people? Here they're having some issues with the Queen's people. Perhaps with the two of us, we might be able to mediate with the issues they have.
Yeah, we can do that. You want to take a horse for a ride?
Why not? It is made of metal. I assume it can support my weight.
It can support both of us, buddy.
But you're riding, bitch.
It's whatever. Safeguard's horse.
If they're pretty to be Red would like raise like a cup of water or whatever to Octavian and say, you know, lead by example, Octavian.
Of course.
Ah, the perfect one's right here, and it's made of metal. And I flex.
If nobody else wants to go, that's cool. We'll head out to where the Vanadoria. Can we go back to the city map?
Oh, yes, sir.
Ren making amends to Octavian still can't stand to hear his speeches, so Ren has business on his own to take care of.
That's perfectly fine. I know you have errands to do. Yes, we'll head over there, over in Soldier's Rest, right?
Yes, so Safeguard and Octavian are leaving to talk to the Vanadori.
Mm-hmm.
Ren is leaving to... Did you say what, Ren, or just run errands?
Run errands, I've told you my errands.
Of course. And Varn, I guess Versailles would probably hang out with the Renaults for the day. Varn, B, and Saloon. Want to hang around the shop or head in any direction?
B has a scouting mission to do with
I do.
Danric.
Yes, B and Dan. Yes, very good. B, are you turning back into the giant eagle?
Yeah, B will transform. I think the flying eagle has the highest, or not the highest, the most flying speed out of all the birds there are. I'd have to check.
Mm-hmm.
How
how many walk
But
shifts do you get
for now, yes. Giant eagle.
Yeah. How many wild shifts do you get per day?
I only get 2 a day, and I technically used 1. However, if I can take a short rest, I can. Where is it? It's one of my features as a verbal. My natural recovery. Yeah. I can basically get spell slots back, and I can just get those spell slots back.
Okay, yeah. I mean, if you want to take a short rest at the place, and I'm sure Danric would.
Oh, it's only a short rest to get my wild shape back. It doesn't matter. Okay. So if I ever have to take a short rest, I can. I don't know. Ride on. Mm-hmm. I don't know if this guy can carry me. I don't know what kind of bird he's going to turn into, but we'll figure something out.
Yeah, he's going to turn into a little red sparrow.
I don't know if I can do that.
What are you trying to do? Oh wait, well, you know what? You could talk to him about like, hey, that maybe something faster, bro. You know what I
mean? Yeah, really. Actually, I'd love to do that. So, has he turned into a sparrow now?
No, he just turned into a human, and he was on the table like eating potatoes, and then he like rolled off the table and sat in the chair and was pretty unhelpful.
Okay, I'd like to go up to him and I'll say, so you ready for our scouting mission, partner?
B. I see you also study the ways of the winds and the trees. Nature has many secrets if only we listen.
Sean Connery? Is that you? Is that you?
You just figuring this out?
That's not even my
Yes,
good...
I am.
So like I'm deliberately doing my like bad Sean Connery impression because like the good one sounds too much like Sean Connery. So like the bad one, I'm thinking maybe it's a little off. But I guess not.
Either way, either way, I thought it was him. I'm like, wow, Sean Connery. So I noticed that you were flying around as that little red bird. Now, that's really cool because it's really inconspicuous and no one will suspect that.
Mhm.
However, I feel like you can't fly as fast as me. Can you turn into anything else?
Well, perhaps I could turn into a mouse. You could hold me in your claw.
Okay, well, we're going in the right direction. But I can only be an eagle for so long before I get tired. In fact, it is 5 hours before I turn back. I just read that. Wow, 5 hours. Yeah, I got about 5 hours in me before I gotta take a break. So, I don't know. Can you turn into something that could carry me as a furbolg?
Let me think for a second. Did you know once it was quite fun, I turned into a giant badger.
Oh, for fun, or?
Well, actually, there were some beavers at the river. They were having difficulty making a dam. So I turned into a badger and I was able to help them.
Well, why didn't you turn into a beaver?
I can't do that.
You can't turn into a beaver?
I never tried.
Well,
Should I try it now?
no, not a good idea at the
Would
moment.
you like to build a dam with me?
Does anybody else in the room know how to turn into a flying bird? I might tap out.
I can turn into a giant vulture.
Oh, okay. Now that's great. See, a giant vulture could probably carry me while I take a quick nap.
I kind of doubt that.
I do not.
You're pretty damn big as a furbolg.
That's true. Oh gosh, this is so much work. Oh, why does it have to be so far away?
I mean, you have multiple instances of beast shape.
Only
Don't
two.
you?
Only two.
Okay, so that eats up 10 hours.
You can take as
And
many
that-
short rests as you want.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, I
A
thought
short
we had to
rest
get
is
there
an
like
hour.
as soon as possible.
well, yeah, but if a short rest is all it takes to go and recover it, you take an hour short rest and you recover both of those. That's 40 hours in the air with 2 stops.
Yes. Okay, yes. I had to do the math for a second, and I'm like, is that right? Okay, fine. Well... Okay, maybe I'm going at this all wrong. Well, maybe
Yeah,
maybe I could, I don't know, tough it out. If you want me to carry you as a small mouse, I could probably just carry you on my back, like they do in them moving pictures. Like why couldn't the giant eagle just fly him all the way to Mordor? Heard that one 1,000 times.
More door? There's only one door here. Why would we need more?
Thank you. Thank you.
It's a furbolg inside joke. You gotta be a furbolg to get it.
Do furbolgs like doors?
Well,
They
yeah.
are apparently their favorite structure.
They're the most secure when the earth decides to start shaking.
Well. We can... Sometimes the earth speaks to us as much as the wind.
That's right. And speaking of the wind, let's catch this wind right now and start making our way over to do some scouting.
Danrick would nod, eat one more scoop of potatoes, and then disappear.
Where did you see where he went? and I'll look to. Is Varn still here?
Yeah.
I'll look to basically everybody in the room that's still here. Did y'all see where he went?
Does Ren know where he went?
Oh, you didn't leave yet?
Well, Red hadn't left. It was just Octavian and Safeguard that left.
Okay. With your passive perception, you don't see anything, but you might be able to look under the table.
I'll look under the table.
You would actually see a tiny mouse crawling across Saloon's shoe.
Is this your friend B?
Listen,
Can I pick
well,
up the mouse?
now,
Well, I kind of like whisper. Oh, I wouldn't say that we're friends, and she does like air quotes. but don't like kick it or squish it or anything.
Oh no, of course not. And Saloon will like bend down and try to hold her hands out for the mouse to like run into her hands.
Yeah, the mouse would climb up your leg a bit and crawl into your hand, and it gives a little squeak.
She'll smile at it and then she'll like pat its head, her finger like. Boop.
Well, we best be off now. If anybody else wants to come and help us in our mission, more than welcome to. It's gonna get a little boring up there. I don't really speak mouse, and I guess nobody really speaks bird either.
nope.
Well,
To talk to Tufa.
well, we could, but I don't think Tufa's gonna do very good in the air. I don't think
Cast.
Tufa likes heights.
Cast flight on Tufa.
It's like that thing. Oh, shoot. Oh, it was in Peter Pan where they like put pixie dust on the dog and the dog just starts floating in the air.
Yes.
That's Tufa.
Yes, Nana.
Nah, thank you.
Yeah.
Gotta like tow him with a rope.
That's right.
Well, y'all, we're off, and I'll actually. Does a normal eagle technically have 80 fly speed as well? Because if I don't have, because a giant eagle. No, it's 60. Okay, then I'll just be a giant eagle. I just don't want to roll up to wherever I'm scouting at as a giant bird, because giant birds I don't think are very common in this world. So it might be a little suspicious if one rolls up and is like looking at, everything else.
I mean, Haverhill's got some forests around it. You could also be so I was looking. The only two beasts with the 80 fly speed are a giant eagle and a giant swan.
Ooh.
Giant swan. Well,
Stop
I'll
it,
still
can't
be a
be
giant
swan.
eagle.
You can do giant eagle part of the way there, and then do your rest, and then do normal eagle the rest of the way.
Good idea. I'll probably do that then. I'll transform into a giant eagle, and my giant talons like act as like a huge cage that kind of like it's like a claw machine for the mouse.
Nice.
Because the scale is just enormous. And B's gonna take off to the sky.
Outstanding.
Arn looks at the others and goes and says, "They're gonna die, aren't they?"
Oh, Vaughn, do you remember Danrick being so?
Dumb.
Yeah.
That's not nice.
I mean, he's always been kind of dumb, but
He's always been weird, but
yeah, you're dumb. They seem the same to me. But he does seem to be going a little over the top lately. Maybe he's getting senile. That's a word, right?
What I was thinking.
Varn, you might remember, and I think Ren, Octavia, you might remember as well, that last time you met with Danrick, he got a little, he got confused the longer he was in his shape. Seems like it's taking its toll on him as the years go by. And then he kind of, sometimes he wants to just kind of stay there. You might have mentioned that he mentioned that.
that was a long time ago, man.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
I mean, you're
I think it was only what, like a year and a half, almost 2 years ago.
Yeah, something like
roughly.
that. It was right in the middle of COVID. I remember that.
Yeah.
the first time.
Yes, I want to see where it was like early 2020.
Yeah, that's right. Right. And I don't
So,
want to
yeah.
draw attention to it, but we actually we broke the record of campaign 1 tonight with session 26.
Oh, wow. That's wild.
We're in the end game though, so no.
Only 20 more to go and we break Vigilante's part.
Yes, yeah. You get to the hold and it's just Neri, and she's like, back to the forest.
But I would drive to Boston just to kick it. Anyway.
Yes.
So run with his errands at that point.
Okay, Vorm.
So follow.
Vorm, are you in your Discord, Vorm?
I am in it. I'm not looking at it though.
Did you look at it for 1 second?
I looked at it. It's not as pretty as it used to.
I sent you a message.
I see this.
Okay, it's up to you though.
Shit, when did I hit caps? Alright. Fuck. I hate this. I'm missing like 3 keys out of my goddamn keyboard for typing on my laptop. So I have to use a second keyboard, and I never reach for the second one.
We're not going to the bone zone. We're just discussing something.
It's fine. I'm looking at memes.
Actually, it's pronounced Meme.
Shut up.
It was Mimi.
Yes.
Justin, during breakfast, I wanted to say, all right, Octavian, I know when everyone else was out partying, you studied the blade. But the blade is always the answer.
Oh my god.
And I wanted to keep it straight because it was an important moment.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Yeah, Alice, let's go and do that.
Okay. So Ren is preparing to leave.
Where you going, Pirate Man?
I have a few things to take care of.
Where about? Out in the city?
Yeah, I've a couple shop stops to make and a couple personal to make potentially.
Oh, that might be. I go with you. I gotta go find some new toys.
Unexpected, but not unwelcome.
Okie dokie. Rugrat, you coming? Oh wait, the rat's
Me?
left. Yeah, you.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've been calling my nieces and nephews Rugrats for the longest amount of time. It's either Rugrats or Munchkins, and yeah, today was a Rugrat day.
Mm-hmm. Rugrats was all Angelica's dream. Excellent. So Ren's heading out into the city. Why don't we do one of Ren's errands and we can check in with Octavian and check back. We'll go back and forth.
Sure.
Where to first, Ren?
I mean, one that I didn't want to RP. I just wanted to sell these bag of gems I've had since campaign 1.
I know, I was going through my inventory looking at all the shit that I had, and it looks like I never ended up going, or it like reset my character sheet because all the shit that I sold back in the one city was all on my sheet again. The gold was there, but all the freaking items that I sold made it back on there like 3 weeks ago or something like that. So I don't know what the hell happened, but I don't know. I just went through and cleared those back out again.
Great. You would be able to find Ren quickly. Would you ask about or just kind of wander the market district?
Wander, I guess. I mean, or whatever's. I guess ask, because that's probably quicker.
Sure. You would notice, many of the shops are boarded up. A lot of people have, left the city. Tourism and trade is certainly. War is not good for those things, as we all know. So certainly the market district has taken a hit. But if you were to inquire about your gemstones, you would find a friendly human passing by who would say, I think Suzerain Pendleton is still doing business. She has a shop right down this way by the old Naval Museum. Point down the alley and give you directions to a certain broker. Fine goods.
Is there anybody down there that sells pew-pews? What are they called? Boats? Not boats. Boats.
Boats are down by the dock. You might find the shipwright.
No, I mean boats with an L in it.
You want a boat where the name has an L in it? Well, there's the Mary Lou. I believe she's for sale if old Rickard's still trying to get rid of her. Leaks a bit in the springtime.
Never mind. I don't want to shoot you today.
We'll find it, Varn.
I hope we find somebody a little more intelligent.
I gotta add Rickard, captain of the Mary Lou, to my world anvil.
Oh God.
Excellent. So, Ren, following the directions, you would actually notice one of the shops that seems to be open, and it would say Pendleton, trader of fine antiquities.
Ren would enter.
Stepping inside, you would find you wanna skip a bit. You would find a nice lady who's happy to buy your gems.
Awesome.
So, what kind of gems are these?
We know it is a pouch of precious gems. It was never specified. It was never given worth. I just want them out of my goddamn inventory. I've been trying to get rid of them for a fucking long time.
I buy them from the lady.
You just buy them from Ren.
But the lady was already interested, though.
I think you've just walked in, so
we don't even know how much they're worth or how much else is given for.
Let's take a look here. She would look at it, taking out a small glass, and say, Suzerain Pendleton's the name. This looks like you've got some lovely garnet, topaz here as well. A lovely clear emerald. Very nice, very nice. I think I could offer you 10 gold for the bag.
Not if there's a fucking emerald in there.
Ren just kind of just complete blank face, just stares at her.
Did I say emerald? I meant azurite, hematite, a little lapis lazuli.
I'll give you 50 gold.
She sort of, Suzerain Pendleton shoots you a look saloon.
Stick my tongue out. Blech.
The nerve.
Your Ugrat's got a better deal.
Sorry, I don't cheat my friends. Salone looks back to Ren.
Why, guys? Why are we doing this?
Sounds like she's trying to go and rack up more money for you.
I think she just wants the pretty gems.
I have a plan. Just trust me. I'll give you 50 gold.
50 gold? I
I don't trust you.
I won't match that price. I'll offer you 25, no more.
Mm.
Fine, 50 gold. I really don't give a shit.
The
Ren looks-
Okay.
The language, sir.
No, that's Cobra saying that. It's not Ren. Like I'm. Ellis, you literally could have said they're fake and said giving me nothing. I don't care. I just fucking want to be done with this.
You could have thrown him in the river. It would have been easier.
Thank you.
Like I don't care. Like
Okay. Saloon.
I didn't want to RP selling gems. I do it every time.
I can't help it. I have a problem. As you walk in, you notice the shelves lined with various antiquities from old.
I mean, do I have to turn into Octavian and burn this place to the ground?
Okay, all right. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm removing 50 gold from my thing now.
Okay, please add 50 gold, Cobra.
Just keep your gold. I don't care. Just take the gems.
Oh, good God! Why is he so good?
Wow.
Okay.
We're off of the
Oh,
rails,
I meant
folks.
it. I meant it.
Yes, that's fine. We've made a trade.
50 gold.
Saloon, add to your inventory a bag containing azurite, hematite, and lapis lazuli.
Thought there was emerald.
No, I misspoke.
Mm.
Ellis doesn't know his gemstones.
I just pulled up a chart.
Well, if you need to look at the other gemstones, I sent you to the link
Oh,
to
thank
the
you.
the whole table,
Thank you, man.
all like 10 tables of gems and their value according to the DMG. I use it all the time for treasure.
Excellent. Thank you.
I will add those later.
Excellent. Merci beaucoup. Where to next, Ren?
Well, I'm next to the Naval Museum, so I guess I'll go there.
Looking across the street from Suzerain Pendleton's Antiquities, you would see the familiar site of the Naval Museum, where I believe you have been before. But now, alas, it appears to be boarded up. The door is swinging open.
I guess we're gonna go inside.
Opening the door, you would, with your passive perception, notice someone hiding behind the door, poised to attack.
Okay.
Can I use our reactions?
No. If Ren is going inside, he would ask both of you to stay back, to stay outside.
Okay.
Varn will chill outside.
And this person is going to say, what do you call them? More scavengers! Ha! And it's coming down at you with some sort of a 2x4.
Can I just catch the board as it's coming at me?
Of course, Ren can.
Is this the same guy as before?
No roll required. No, this is appears to be a woman.
What was the guy's name?
Rick Sanchez.
God.
I don't remember. I'm sorry, I couldn't find it. I looked and looked.
Then make up a name that
Yeah,
we'll say is what it was.
Yeah. Serge Smythe.
Serge Tankin?
Okay, hold on. Let's go to the fantasy name generator. Hold on a second.
No, I think Serge Tankian is a great name.
Okay. The name was Rody Coke.
I like Rody Coke better. He sounds like a groupie or something.
I'm gonna post this in the Discord. I missed so many memes in OOC. Yes, you would have remembered one Rody Coke who ran the Naval Museum.
Sure. Ron will kind of just grab the 2x4. If I wanted to scavenge something, I would have done it the first time I was here. I was looking for Mr. Coke. I believe he ran this establishment.
Oh, you knew Rody.
I did. He can I look around? Is the pin that I had sold him still here?
You would notice a couple of glass cases smashed, but with your passive perception, you would easily notice the pin behind the counter.
I would walk up, not past, but up to the counter. I would kind of like just like let go of the board and walk like kind of past her up to the counter.
Mhm.
I did. I was here a few months ago when I sold him that, and I would point to the pin.
Her face sort of changes a bit, and she drops the board to the ground, and she says, "Rhodey was my husband. I am his widow, Calibrid."
What happened to him?
My husband, misguided as he was, had sympathies for the vigilant, openly supported them. It cost him his life.
How did it take such a price from him?
There are some in the city who deal with these enemies in different ways. And there's more than one gang of ruffians who thinks the easiest way to end this war is to kill everyone who has even any faith left in Tyr.
Can't say I agree with the side he chose, but he was a nice man, and he didn't deserve that.
If he had lived to see this, I believe me, he never would have joined them if he knew it would come to this. She seems like she's just holding it together.
And how long ago was this?
Perhaps 3 months? If you're here to get your pin back, you can have it.
No, I want nothing to do with that anymore. I was actually hoping to get rid of this, and he will pull out his claw.
Ooh. Her eyes kind of go wide, and she says, a rare weapon, that.
Yes, you. I don't know if he told you where he got the pin, but if he did, he wasn't lying.
Then you must be. She sort of looks you in the eye.
Ren just nods.
She says, "Please, just go." If you want to leave the claw here, I'll add it to the collection. Do you need any coin?
Not as much as you probably do. What are you... I mean, the place doesn't seem open anymore. What are you doing now?
The Queen promises that once the war is over, that commerce, the trade, the tourism will come back. Pray the day comes soon.
I think it will. Tell you what, if that happens, we can discuss compensation then. And Ren will leave the claw and leave.
She's just kind of holding it. She's looking at it with wonder as you make your way out. And you would find Varnon's saloon waiting outside.
What was we had to go here for?
It's a museum. I was simply making a donation.
No.
We can move on.
What's a museum for?
It's where people put old things for other people to look at.
Yeah, we should have stuck Bonnie in here.
Stuck who?
Bonnie.
Barney Bafflestone.
Oh,
It belongs in a museum. So do you. I love it.
and I'm deleting my claw from my inventory.
Wow. The end of an era.
End of an era.
Yes.
We're in the end game now.
Safeguard and Octavian, I'm so sorry to do this to you. I want to see Ren's next errand.
Well, leg logged out.
Oh, leg left? Okay.
Oof.
I don't know if she's done or there's an issue or what.
Okay. Well, is that okay, Octavian? We'll do the last errand and then we'll circle back.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I don't know. You can talk to her, but I feel like I don't know that Leg's heart was into having like a meeting with Felix. I think she was just tagging along.
That's fine.
It's up to you though. Totally up to you. Happy to do it.
I do still want to talk to him. Like I kind of have to.
Yeah.
So even if Scar is just there in spirit,
I will say, like I was gonna ping Leg because I don't know if anybody read the text RP. Like the Queen was dropping some more bombs. I was kind of hoping that Safeguard would.
Yeah, I read it earlier today. Like, that's interesting.
Yeah, I'm assuming that Safeguard will divulge some of this, next game day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so where to next, Ren?
I'm looking for a enchanting shop.
Oh, right. Okay, yes. You would remember at Circle 17, you did remember that there was one called Miss Fallon.
Well, hey, let's go there.
Excellent. You notice that this is in the middle of a sort of rundown-looking section. The streets outside actually have a heroic monument to Han Haver, which was who was the founder of Hannon. It's a timber-framed row house with a yellow tile roof and a pillared curved roof entryway. You would actually notice that there's an odd-looking telescope set up outside the front of the shop.
Where's it point? Is it just pointing to the sky?
Yes.
Interesting. But not super relevant at the moment. I mean, it is daytime, so you're just gonna stare at the sun? What are you, Donald Trump?
Oh, so is this shop a like do they enchant anything, or is it like not item specific, but like
Well, the sign out front would say the Mists of Falinora, and below that it says enchantments and miscellanea.
Oh, okay.
So you might get the impression that they have a variety of services.
All right, cool.
How many gyms total was there in the back?
Let's say there were 6.
6? Okay. I was gonna ask if I could have them like made into something
Certainly.
at this shop.
You could certainly ask.
May not be a bad idea. You can have them made into a collar for your bunny.
Oh yeah, where's the bunny?
Rex?
Yeah.
I thought I would just keep him in my pocket.
I was gonna say,
tailcoat.
enchant them to tinkle like little bells, and then put it on his neck as a collar.
Then he won't be sneaky.
Are rabbits overly sneaky?
Rabbits are pretty like fast and quiet.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't know what I was gonna do with them until just now. Thank you. Okay, yeah. So, can I have these gems made into a collar? It'll fit around like Rex's neck, but possibly around my wrist, like as a bracelet around my wrist or my ankle too.
My document just went crazy. There we go. As you enter, you would see a male half-elf standing behind the counter. He's polishing what looks like a large round shield. And he would say, oh, yes, you can.
Okay. How much?
What do you want to do?
I want to have these jewels turned into like a collar for Rex, but like also an anklet for me.
Okay. On what type of chain?
Could I have the like? Okay, so
Silver,
the
gold,
anklet,
platinum.
yeah. We'll go with
Something-
silver for the chain. I want that for the anklet, but like, could I have like? I want to say Velcro, like of that sort for Rex, like cotton of some kind.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, they would explain that both of those would cost for the set would be 25 gold.
Okay. Hand them 25 gold.
And they tell you to come back at the end of the day.
I will do my best to remember. I tell Varn to remind me.
Don't look at me, I'll forget too.
Ah, okay. Hey, Ran, can you do me a giant favor?
I mean, I'll have to know what it is before I agree.
Can you remind me to come back here at the end of the day to come get some stuff that I just made with the gems that I got from you?
Sure. I expect to be here a bit myself, so hope to be.
Okay, thank you. And I'm gonna go around and look around in the store.
Okay. And the shopkeeper's eyes would fall on you, Ren. And he would introduce himself as Auroral.
Hello, Aurora. My name is Ren. I'm looking for something. I have certain capabilities, and with that, he'll kind of like charge up a radiant, not like shoot it, but charge up a radiant sunbolt.
Ooh, yes.
I can throw these, but I'm looking to have it so I can focus it, and he'll kind of like shadow box a couple punches into strikes that will accent the way I fight. I have these, kind of show off his platinum bracelets and anklets that I was hoping to get to enhance my fighting capabilities.
So you sent me some details.
I sent you a screenshot.
You did. Let me go. Let me look at that. Yes, there it is. Thank you.
Sorry.
Excellent. He would take the no, he would not take them because they cannot be taken, right?
Well, right now they can't be taken out. They can't be normally taken off because they're just too small for his wrist.
Yes.
If there's a magical way for him to make them bigger and take them off at that point, then that could work.
Yes. He'd say, do you mind, sir? Just a moment. And he would come up and, unless you resisted him, he would tap one of them with a wand, and you'd see it actually expand a little bit. And he'd slip it off, and he would
That'd be fine.
he would take like a jeweler's glass. He'd be kind of inspecting it a little bit. And he would be listening to it, the resonance a bit, and he'd say, you want it? I think I understand what you'd like, sir. Did you have a price in mind? A unique service.
Yeah, not specifically. I've never had anything enchanted before, so I don't know what it might be.
Just trying to find the level of what you're trying to look up. Let's see. Hold on. Let me check one more thing.
Honestly, so just well, I guess with Saloon, since help, Ren has nearly 300 gold.
Yes.
And my plan was, if it was going to be more than that, if Ren can say, "Hey, build a rest to the Queen of Hannon."
Ah. Yeah, so I mean, you can stop me if I'm wrong, but the research I'm doing indicates that the price of such a thing would be in the 300 to 400 gold range. Is what I'm getting based on the +1, with the extra thing. Does that sound right, or am I undervaluing it?
That's fine with me.
Yeah.
If Ren would do like 275 and build the rest of the Queen, if he can get away with that.
And he would sort of give you a look, and we're gonna need a persuasion roll to make them believe that you know the Queen.
I do know the Queen. But I
Well,
suck
Hey,
at
if you
it.
want, I can help you.
It's not deception.
Yeah.
With the help action, they would indeed agree.
Appreciate that.
Can't roll anything yet.
Well, no, you just helped Ren, so Ren got
Yeah,
advantage.
the help
Okay.
action grants advantage to another creature.
Very clutch. I don't know that Varn would have made it any better. I think.
You'd give disadvantage, so it would.
Hey, he
He'd
does
be
know
like-
the Queen, stupid.
Like, he knows the Queen, and I know her daughter, and we're friends. So
No, Varn would have turned around and looked at him and says, "We got the Queen's daughter in back at the camp.
Yeah, make it sound like you kidnapped her.
Why isn't she with you?" "Well, she's kind of tied up with things right about now."
Oh no!
Phrasing.
Excellent. So he would indicate that it will be done in the morning.
Wunderbar.
Ah.
how much would a new set of armor cost that would make my armor class higher than it is?
What are you wearing now?
Leather?
Leather. So you're looking for probably studded leather.
I think it's
Yeah.
45 gold for studded.
I think so. I think that's what Varn's wearing. Give me a second. Let me see if I can find it.
I mean, I'll go with that.
Studded leather is 45 gold, correct?
Yep.
So, sorry. Eraril would say, I don't deal in armor myself, but there's a buddy of mine I could call who knows about armor. You must
Okay.
understand that with the war on, these things are at a premium. The Queen has herself has asked that has appropriated much of the weapons and armor in the city for the ongoing war effort. But you might be able to find a set, and he would write down an address and say, ask there and just let them know that you're a valued customer. Take good care.
Okay, thank you. She'll give him a thumbs up.
He said, "No, if you don't
Take
mind, I need to
that
get to
piece of
work.
paper.
Much work to do." And he begins working diligently on the orders.
Varn
Give the
holds
paper
up.
to Ren.
Varn holds up 10 crossbow bolts and says, "Can you make these go and punch big ol' hoes? Or knock people over better?"
He would take one of them and look at it and say, I see.
Essentially, Varn is looking to go and see if he can get walloping crossbow bolts.
Oh, I see." He'd say,
More for the fact that once he has them, he can then go and produce them himself. But
and is that a single use on that, or is that a?
they are single use. So he's offering up 10 crossbow bolts to go and try to get them made into walloping.
Mhm.
And then once he does that, he's basically going to go and try to deconstruct it and learn to make them himself.
Sure. So Ariel would say, I'm going to have to. I will have to work all night because I have your associates' commissions as well. But it can be
I got a
done.
day or two.
It can be done.
How much you want?
For all 10?
Yeah.
75 gold.
Okay.
Varn goes and starts counting, skipping all of the threes.
Mhm.
So there's, I think 63. No, 75. There's 67 gold that gets put up there. And then he has to start over.
Mhm.
Because he
hell?
needs
It's
he
like an
needs the full amount.
It's like an OCD thing.
Well, no, goblins can't count to or can't count beyond 3,
Oh.
or can't say 3 because it's a holy number.
That's right.
So they can't say 3. So he every time he gets to the 3, except for 13, he can say that. But
It's not technically
whenever there's
3.
3 in the name or in the word, he can't say it. So it's
20.
22,
Hamina,
24. He just skips 23.
Great. That's amazing.
So he's short.
Well,
But he
yes,
slides
is,
over the.
But he also owes
he
more
sli-
money.
Right, he slides over the 67, and I'm sure he goes and gets glared at.
Mhm.
And goes and says, "What?
Do you want to try a persuasion or deception or anything, or are we just?
I'll try we'll try rolling an innocence, which is persuasion, I guess.
Certainly.
Do you also like help?
That's a
Don't
20.
eat it.
I'll bill the rest to the queen then.
Yeah, sure.
But you're a friend.
But I'm
of
pretty
hers.
sure that's all of it.
You're a friend of hers as well, I think.
I wouldn't say we're friends, but I know her.
The queen has many well wishers and hangers on her plate. Very well.
Well, I got a kid back at the camp.
Jesus.
That's amazing. Jesus. Okay, he would instruct you to come back in the morning, and all your items, all your enchanted items will be ready. Enchanted and otherwise.
Cool.
Okie dokie.
Excellent. So, Ren, I believe you have another errand, and Saloon has an address for an armorer.
I guess the armor's probably closer because it's in the same district, whereas where Ren has to go, that's over like the Shattered Square, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So we can just quickly pick up some armor.
Sure. Let's not belabor the point. What did you say was 45? You would be able to grab a set of studded leather, Saloon, if you'd like, for 55 gold.
55?
Yep.
I try to persuade them to lower the price because I only have 42 gold.
Let's roll the nice persuasion.
Yeah.
Ren will help. Not that he's that helpful. But Ren insight checks and knows that's too much, so he's like,
Oh.
Good.
Great. Yeah. Between Saloon, are you talking your way out of it? Are you giving the look of innocence, or what are you doing?
I look like a pitiful child with tearful eyes, and I'm scared to go into war by myself without having anything to protect myself.
Oh,
I need it. Please.
Can't she sell her regular leather armor if she wants?
I could,
Up to
a
you.
discount.
Yeah. So with the gold you have and the pitiful look, coupled with Ren's glare, we can get the transaction.
Okay, and then I'll be like, but now that I've spent all my gold, do you think you want to buy my old armor? So I'm not begging for food on the streets?
Oh my god.
I need to roll another persuasion.
No, that's fine.
typically you can sell used equipment for half its normal value, is what's.
If I'm not mistaken, it's 10. So yeah, he would give you 5 gold back for the used leather.
Thank you.
I love a good shopping episode, don't you all?
Varn just looks at him and goes and says, "You are an asshole. I like you." And he holds out his hand.
What?
Yep.
Wait, how How much did I sell the? Crap. How much did I pay for the
Did you say 42?
studded leather?
Did you say 42?
That's all I had.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you would have 42 for the
Then I
leather.
got 5 gold back.
Correct.
Okay, so subtract 42 and then add 5.
Yep. Or you could just
Heck
subtract
yeah.
37. 'Cause of
Good,
math.
but I'm not going to.
Excellent. Great. And from there,
What was the bullshit name for the place? There's some temple to some.
yes, exactly. You're right. It was at the temple. Hold on. Sunni.
Okay.
Temple of Sunni.
So Ren will go to the Temple of Sunni in the Shattered Square.
Yes, indeed.
It's in New York, isn't it?
As you approach, you would notice that the temple appears to have been renovated and painted. It looks a little bit different than last time you were there.
All right. Are the bouncers still outside?
No.
Ren will say, well, they're. Oh, this is early morning. They're probably not operating hours, right?
They appear to be open. You see some figures moving around inside.
Ren will say to Saloon, you
Mm-hmm.
you may want to wait outside for this one.
What's this place?
A house of ill repute.
Me?
Armor blinks. Aren't there other houses?
This one is particularly ill reputed.
Sounds
What
like
does that
fun.
mean?
You're
Oh,
too
we-
young, Saloon. This is a house for old grown people.
Oh, so I can't go in there then.
The chronologically grown, not the physically grown.
What's chronological?
Old.
Oh! Okay, that's me then.
So I have to sit out here by myself?
I mean, Ren didn't say you can't go in. He said you probably shouldn't.
Hmm. Could I roll a die real fast to see which
Yeah.
one chooses?
Yeah, do an odd even if you want.
Yeah. Okay. So where would I roll it?
Just roll a I would just do like a D100/R space 1 D100. There you go. Even. What does that mean?
Fuck. I didn't decide.
Just go ahead. it's fine.
Stay outside.
Oh, okay.
Ah!
Fine.
Listen to Rin.
Okay. You would see Saloon probably sit down on a bench outside, as you and Varn would enter. Is that correct?
Yep.
Great. Are you guys ready?
Oh boy.
Yes!
This is where half of my prep time went. As you enter,
Change my mind. I'm going outside.
go ahead and you drop your tokens out on the street, if you'd like.
Just as she's
There it is.
getting ready to go in, Ren will say, "If you're going in, I am not answering any questions."
I'll explain everything.
Okay.
Are there
I give
people
Vern a high
holding
five
hands in
earlier.
here?
That's great.
What else
Oh,
do you do in houses of ill repute?
I love it, Cake.
I don't want to be alone.
That's fine. You do whatever you want.
Here's an
Okay.
ice cream, kids. Sit down.
Ren wanted to do the museum for personal reasons. This one, he's just, hey,
There you
I
go,
have to
Saloon.
remember to inhale while I'm
giggling
Mm-hmm.
over here. Good God.
All right. Okay, as you enter, you would see a lavishly appointed room. In the corners, there are certain sitting nooks set up with lavish, thick pile rugs with cushions and couches.
Are those manacles, Alice? What kind of place you build?
Duvets, things like that. At the center, you would actually see what looks like a dwarven, looks like a dwarven female with a thick braided beard. Is actually dancing on a table, much to the delight of a few onlookers. There is a man with a thick curly mustache standing by the bar and notices you walk in, and would say, "Ah, welcome, welcome, friends, welcome."
Thanks.
I'm not your friend. Do I know you? Who are you?
Ah, my name is Richard. I'm the proprietor of this boarding house. It's midway between the shore and the road east. Welcome to Dick's Halfway Inn.
Oh my god!
I am so mad at you.
I'm glad
do
you used that,
they-
Ellis.
Yeah.
they
I was going to
sell-
turn around and call him Dick.
Yep.
Do they sell a cider that's produced by a company called Dixon?
Yeah. You'd say, "Oh, we're running a midday special, 18 silver for all you can eat, drink, and enjoy. We do have some special entertainment from the far corners of Halcyon. We have a tabaxi who has you need to see to believe. Then we also would you like to see the tabaxi?"
Ren kind of I don't need to see or believe.
He would snap his fingers.
Varn leans over and just gives him an eye at this point. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? 18 silver for all I can eat?
And drink. And unlimited entertainment.
That's gross. I got no issue eating, but drinking? Ugh. What are you, drunk? Yes, that was an innuendo.
Yes.
Bruh.
Please allow us to introduce the star of our show, the tabaxi known as the Night of Dreams. And from out of a curtained door comes this figure who comes up and begins dancing for you.
Jesus fucking Christ.
And with your passive perception, Ren, you notice that it is indeed a human wearing a fursuit.
No. Oh man.
Ren's gonna kind of like get like up like a little too close to this guy's like, you need to knock this off right now.
Ah, not to your liking? We have something for every taste. And the tabaxi scurries back into one of the side rooms. He says,
Hey, Will! Oh.
allow me to introduce our main attraction.
Ren's gonna like, I notice you don't have guards out front taking weapons anymore.
From the far shores of Geon, this is the three-legged halfling called Wildhide, and out runs shirtless halfling.
Oh my fucking god.
And he looks at you and he says, "You want to guess? You want to guess why they call me three-legged?"
Ren pulls out the short sword, like blade out.
No weapons, sir, please. Please, no weapons.
Ren
Seeing
kind of, like,
this,
puts the blade up against this guy's chest.
Oh, come on now.
No, like,
Varn
like,
pulls out a short sword.
This is a
Pull out my
cutting
daggers.
dinner knife.
A couple of these people, they jump off their stools, and this dwarf stops dancing.
Ren will say, put to Celine to put her weapons away.
Okay, sorry. Don't
You'd notice from the back there appears to be a trio of dwarves enjoying the hot tub.
Ren will say, now, are you going to stop wasting my fucking time?
I don't understand, sir. Are you not here for our midday special?
Perhaps if you'd let me fucking talk. Are you the owner here?
Yes, I am. I am Richard, the proprietor.
Were you the owner 6 months ago?
As you can see, the establishment has changed hands. I purchased it off the previous owner for a very reasonable sum.
Do you know how I can get a hold of the previous owner, or are you aware of any events 6 months ago?
Well, the previous owner has fled the country, sir, as much as many people have. There's a war on, if you haven't noticed. Are you just trying to return the sword, or what are you trying to do?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out who the sword belongs to so I can return it.
Well, it wasn't the owner. It was obviously.
Well, I know, but if like some dude's magical sword goes missing, he's going to put in a complaint to the owner. The owner might know who that guy that put the complaint into, so I can find out who it is and return it.
Okay.
But if the owner's not here and there's no, are there? Brandon would ask, is there records of complaints from the previous owner might have had?
He snaps his fingers, and this young woman would pop into the office and come out with a ledger and say, "We do keep track of all the fights and disturbances, objects reported stolen, things like that."
Well, Ren will kind of sheath the sword and kind of hold the sheath out. Well, this 6 months ago, this sword was reported stolen, I imagine, and I would like to find out who reported it stolen.
Richard would look at it and say, a rare piece. What does it do?"
Well, it kills things quite effectively.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, it is a sword blessed by the captain of the wave.
Yeah, he would snap his fingers, and the young woman's kind of flipping through, and she would say, she taps the book. Richard looks at it, and he turns it around and shows it to you, and he says, "One Emmerin Oswin reported such a blade missing about 6 months ago. Interesting."
Emmerin Oswin.
Local fisherman. No? Yes, I believe something like that. You might have luck down the docks if you're looking for it.
Well, that'll be my next stop.
Behind you, the halfling who's been kind of gyrating says, "Dick, are they gonna buy a dance, or can I go on break?" And Richard just kind of waves at him, and he sighs and he scurries away.
Jesus Christ. We'll find the tabaxi.
The tabaxi comes out from behind the curtain.
We what Varn's into.
Where's Varn? Oh yeah, there's Varn. He comes right up to Varn. And starts swishing the tail of the fursuit in your face, Varn, because you're right at face height to the tail.
Varn grabs a hold of the tail and starts kind of like pulling it to one side or the other to see how loose the skin is. And goes, says, "This isn't even a real tabaxi."
And you hear a voice like muffled from inside the suit go, "Hey, clear her out!"
Oh, Varn just keeps tugging on it.
I'd say you'd probably rip it off after a moment. So now Varn's just standing there, just with the big furry tail in his hands.
Varn looks at the tail. Does it rip out a part of the back side of the costume?
Yes. If you look, you would see what looks like some like hairy legs and some patterned boxer shorts.
They got little hearts.
Tell
on
me
them.
their hearts. Yeah.
Yes. Little heart.
Oh my god.
Just like
Vern gets up from the chair, walks over to Dick, hands him the tail, and goes and says, "You call me when there's a wheel to back thee."
well, sir, with the political situation on, it's difficult to get good entertainment. Of course, we are blessed by Scarlet Fiercebeard here, and you just see the dwarf. She folds her arms and goes, "Yes, you are."
Well, tell Doug in the suit over there he needs to find a new job.
I'm going on break too, Dick. I need a smoke. And the dwarf hops down off the top of the thing and walks off.
Jesus Christ. Oh, you're so proud of yourself, aren't you, Ellis?
Do you guys want to be horrified? Look at this bitch.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Please make it
I mean-
smaller.
In all fairness, that is not the worst that I've
picked.
seen.
No, I picked a very nice looking one. Although my search history is a little sus right now.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, your
Ellis, that's why
analytics
they
are a
made
little off.
incognito windows.
Yeah.
Now, even that doesn't really work. If you're signed into an account, then
Yeah,
it
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh well.
That's why you need to get a VPN, and that way they can't keep track of your shit.
Brought to you
And
by
who do you
Nord.
use?
Today's
Is it
stream
Nord?
brought to you by NordVPN.
Looks like Ren has had enough.
Yeah, Ren left. Is Cobra still here, I hope?
Oh, I'm here.
Okay.
Ren wasn't happy the first time he came here. He's less happy now.
Do you know how long I spent on this map?
It's a nice map.
It's a great map. Yeah, I have a nice
Was
version too.
it from the time that I told you that Ren wanted to return the sword so he might go to the brothel?
Yep.
Like that entire time until the game started.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, I got the breakfast map and the Richard's Roadhouse, we'll call it, map.
Did I wander away and go make some friends?
No.
It's a place of sin.
Yeah.
You must leave.
I'm sure Saloon's eyes would be drawn by the three dwarves in the hot tub.
I hope I'm not the only one who thinks this, but this would be a really fun place to have a fight.
Oh yeah.
Like, I think if we got in a fight here with like a gang or something, I just imagine I'm gonna choke somebody with the boa on stage. I don't know.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
come on, there's so much cool stuff in here.
Oh,
I trap him in
okay.
the hot tub.
It
I'm
throws
down.
a bucket of lube on him and just starts spinning him around the floor.
What about if you pick up the like the wood table across the other hot tub, like a 2x4, and smash somebody in the face with it?
Oh my gosh.
See,
If
this is
if someone is wearing lube armor, Varn's your man. No worries, he's got this one.
Wow.
this would have been a good place to just have like an NPC that we know just hanging out watching the show.
Yeah, I didn't think of it.
And like don't acknowledge, but it's like I don't know, like
Just
A-list
walk
or-
past,
or
yeah, everybody gives you a
Elise or
nod.
something. Like we don't even you don't acknowledge it. You just see if we notice like Elise over here watching the show.
Okay, wait. Can I quickly add somebody?
Yes, please.
Okay,
There's
hold
going to
on,
be
hold on.
Candle.
No. Okay, so here's Lantor Puddlewire and Vern Meadow Root.
Because we remember them.
I don't know who either of them are.
They were the two. There were two halflings when you guys got to Haverhill, and they were having like a street fight, and then
Oh, those guys.
you killed the Yankhead Queen.
Luna will look to her and she'll be like, "Oh, you said I can't ask questions once we get in here. When we leave,
I didn't say you can't ask questions. I said I wouldn't answer any.
will you answer them whenever we leave?"
Answer whatever questions you got.
Hey, don't these look like two guys who would be at a strip club in the middle of the day?
Yes.
Lauren, why are there 3 people in the same tub? That's weird.
Because they're weird men. They're dwarves, so you really can't be all that surprised.
This one's a girl.
Yeah, remember you can't tell between. It's very difficult to tell between dwarf men and dwarf women.
That's fair.
Alright. Okay, so actually, I just know how to reload my thing. So after I asked that question, I didn't hear your response.
This is Ren didn't give you.
Huh? He didn't give one?
No.
Basically, Varn said dwarves are weird.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I was like, wow, great timing.
Red was saying,
was-
I take no responsibility for anything that comes of this.
Why was that person dressed up as a cat?
Ren is. I don't know if Varn is staying for the show, but Ren is just.
Oh, Varn is still standing there.
The Tabaxi would overhear your question, Saloon, and say, "It's my persona."
Oh my god.
Shut up, Doug.
Shut up, Doug. You just decided that this guy's name is Doug.
Doug.
Yep.
Hey, Varn, guess what?
What?
It's canon.
That's
There.
Doug. Boy. Yeah, Ellis, does it make you feel weird that that token is taking up space on your Roll20?
I mean, I've got the large JPEG I had to download to make the token do.
Here's the thing: all you gotta do is just drag it onto your desktop, and then you can drag it off, and then throw it into the token maker, and then you can just delete it off your desktop.
Why would I delete
Oh no,
it?
he's keeping that.
Yeah.
out of his personal stock.
A fine addition to my collection.
Here you go.
How dare!
How dare you? Let's get rid of that. I'm deleting that. Okay. Moving on. Great. So, any other business at Richard's Roadhouse?
Yeah, food. Can we get food? Can I grab
Yeah.
some food?
I want some wings.
You just had breakfast, like it's not.
I'm packing it up for a friend.
Second breakfast.
Yes, if Saloon and Varn wanted to take a seat at the bar, the server will be more than happy to bring you some.
Oh, hell
Okay,
yeah.
once I get the food, I shove it in my Okay, so I'll take off my tailcoat thing that I got, and then I'll just put the food with the plate in there, and I'll wrap it up, and I'll be on my way out the door.
Oh, Varn's staying.
We'll come back and pick Varn up later tonight.
Yep, Varn's definitely there for the wings.
Nice.
Wait, no. By the time we get into Endgame, Varn is going to bring every member of this place to the war.
Of course.
What's
Varn's
that
gonna
over
be
the
their local
horizon?
hero.
Like, what's that over the horizon? And like the enemy's like, do you guys hear pop music?
You guys hear trap music? What the fuck?
Is that why is it so shiny over there?
They're holding a banner high, and it says, Ellis, what's the current year?
1442.
Yeah, it says Furfest 1442. I love that internet historian video. It's fucking funny.
Mm-hmm.
I am both disturbed and yet intrigued by this situation.
As you're leaving Saloon with the wings, you would see the dwarven dancer come back up. Notice Varn's sitting at the bar, and she's going to take a seat next to him and say, "Hey, green guy, looking for some company?"
I'm so happy I left.
I wish I could too.
I'm crumbling into a puddle.
You're the one doing this, Ellis.
I'm committed. The world has rules.
Yeah, could you go get some barbecue sauce? These wings are a little dry.
Sure. Hey, Sandy, get green stuff here. Some more sauce.
Thank you.
I'm from Brooklyn for some reason. All of a sudden.
Does this character like just reek of cigarettes?
Pipe tobacco. Yes.
Oh no. They're hitting their pipe as they're talking to you, blowing the smoke in your face.
Yep. Yeah, she definitely just went out into the side yard to take a break and smoked a pipe. She smoked a bowl.
Varn goes. Is she going and blowing smoke in his face?
No, she took the smoke break outside.
Oh, I was gonna say, if she's still blowing smoke at him, Varn would take a hold of her beard and point at her face at the wings and say, "These are supposed to be smoked, not me."
Look, for 18 silver, we can smoke whatever you like.
You've got a pig?
Oh.
Would love some smoked bacon.
Oh, you're one of those freaky deakies. You've come to the right place. Okay, can we go to the next thing? I'm tapping out.
Alice gets up.
Lightweight.
I love how Varn will just lean into it. It's so great.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Alice, I wrestled in high school. I've been called gay so many goddamn times. This is just all natural to me. I don't care.
Well, the three-legged halfling comes out, starts making the rounds. Excellent. Where to next, Ren?
The harbor master.
Excellent. Varn, you staying?
Oh, Varn's finishing his wings.
Excellent. We will check back in on Varn. I'm almost.
We don't have to. You can just leave it in the imagination.
I will go with Ren because I'm not staying here.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Heading down to the docks, Ren. I assume you're looking for one. Emran Oswin.
Yeah.
So, would you just ask around?
I guess, yeah, or ask out for him, or if no one knows, in the harbor master.
Uh-oh. Just thinking of if Zilbar Zickelmickel has a twin brother. Emran a sailor would say, I know that name. Oswin. A good chap. Last I heard, he went to Vardis, across to Gion. Should be back in about a week.
Can I leave something for him?
Well, his young boy is here if you'd like to talk to him.
Sure.
Ah. Oscar! And a little lad about 12 runs out from between two barrels and says, I, Uncle Lance? And he says, fella here knows your father. The boy looks up at you with his bright green eyes.
So if you're the uncle, does that mean Edwin's your brother? Kin?
Not by blood. Everyone just calls me Uncle Lance.
Gotcha.
It's not weird, I promise.
You kind of made it weird by pointing out it's not weird. I probably shouldn't give this weapon to a kid. Kid, is your mom around?
Oh, sorry. Those are my dogs. Sorry. Down. Sorry about that, sir. Oh, my mother. She's about. Could fetch her.
Probably be best.
She doesn't have to work until later.
I'm not getting.
He would run back between the two barrels into a side house, and then you would see a woman come out. She has an apron tied around her waist and puts her hair up. She says, what is it? Does Emran owe someone money again? We don't have any.
It's nothing like that. And Ren will kind of hold out the sheathed sword.
She'd look at it and she'd say, is that what I think it is?
it is.
And she would hold out her hands.
Ren would hand it over.
She would take the sword, she would pull it out of the sheath about halfway just to look at it, and she'd say, Lord Emerin never thought he'd lay eyes on it again. It belonged to his grandfather.
It was a bad night I was having, and I ended up with it a lot longer than I should have.
Oh,
You can tell Emran the sword has been on quite a journey, even through the Verwood.
oh I'm sure he'll believe that.
Well, be convincing, because it's the truth. But I've had it for far too long, and I knew I had to bring it back to the person it should be with.
Well, I'll tell you the truth, sir. I had asked old Emerin to consider selling it. We could get quite a bit of coin for a blade of this type. But now that I know that it's come back to us, perhaps it means more to keep it than the coin would. The coin would be spent so quickly. But the sword seems to have found its way home.
I'll say, well, that's between the two of you, but
A little Oscar tugs at her apron and says, "But Mama, we need coin for me medicine." Now, hush now, Tia.
well, honestly, I was going to give them 5 gold, but you're kind of being like, if you're going to be that way about it, I'm not going to. I mean, I was going to be nice, but now that you're like trying to pull it out of me, it's like, nah, fuck that. So I'm going to say, hey, good luck, and walk away.
Bruh.
Poor kid.
Ellis,
The
you're
kid's get...
Let your players do things on their
Cobra, I'm sorry. I'm having the most fun I've had.
No, it's
Ellis,
like,
your
yeah,
constant,
I'm like,
your constant need for immersion and depth is both your greatest strength and your biggest weakness.
I was going to say, well, the sword's been on a journey. You should be with the person who's with you. Here's 5 gold. I'm going to give you 5 gold. This should really help you out. But no.
Wait,
Okay.
here. If you're hungry, Saloon will take the wings out of her coat.
Wings.
Just got these. I was gonna save them for a different friend, but they're probably too good for it anyway. Here you go.
It's barbecue and lint flavored.
Oh God.
The boy looks at them and says, "Are those wings from Dick's hat? I mean, are they from the store?"
Oh no, I just got them from somewhere that they went. Where's Farn?
So that takes care of all errands Ren could possibly have.
Excellent. So, you would see Ms. Oswin bringing the blade back inside, and the young boy is happily munching on the wings. Lance is just kind of looking at the scene, just kind of scratching. He takes his hat off, he's just kind of scratching his head a little bit. He's very good.
He doesn't need to know. Oh, Uncle Lance should mind his own fucking business.
Justin, I feel like I would love.
I'm too brain rotted right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would love the week to properly prep the Vanadori camp,
Yeah,
and then we'll have
that's fair. I'm just a little burnt out
Yeah.
from that.
I didn't mean this to be for a Ren Aaron show. I've tried, believe me, I tried to get through that as fast as possible.
Oh, no,
Ellis would not fucking let me.
Ellis, you're a great DM. I love playing with you.
Is there a but at the end of that sentence, or can we just let it lie?
I appreciate everything you do, even if it kind of annoys the fuck out of us sometimes.
Okay, guys, for whatever it's worth, okay? We're friends, okay?
Oh,
I know.
No,
I know.
no,
We're giving you shit because we care.
Oh no, I know. I just want to say I appreciate your indulgence because I have not laughed like that in a long time. So I needed that. Thank you.
Yeah,
Next week will
course.
be much more serious. Thank you.
Oh, you mean Doug's not going to do a travel show at the Vanadori camp?
We should add Doug to our party.
No.
Hey,
about
Octavia,
no?
Yeah, we make
Octavia's always
quite a bit of
collecting
money.
strays, right?
No.
Quite literally a stray.
you go back to get
A
Barnes.
tail.
He's
Poor thing.
Barnes recruited all three of them.
Fuck, if that happens, Octavian's turning into Bob Barker. Make sure to have all your pets spayed and neutered.
I mean, the best part is that we together made up 90% of it.
Yeah, it's great.
My favorite part.
It's just
No, I know.
The-
A sprinkling is good. You don't want to do too big of a help. I know.
yeah. Appreciate a little brain rot every now and then.
Yes. I told Cobra one time. I was like, I will role play in real time a 4-hour dinner. I don't give a shit. I'll do it. I think I'd be the only one who'd enjoy it, but I'll do it. We nearly did at the Coven. You remember? We had the dinner party.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of other stuff happened, but
Then Ren killed a man.
yeah. At least there was a little action, right? I want to say, and I feel like we did sprinkle in some world building. Like we saw how the war is affecting different families. Not the sick kid, that was bullshit. But like the lady, her husband was killed by an angry mob. I mean, and I feel like putting some of the human stories on this sort of
All the more reason to put it all to an end.
yes,
Ellis.
yes, Cake.
We are coming towards the end of today's session, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Cake. And
Okay, now.
yes.
Whoa, before we go, how long has it been? It's just been one whole day, right?
Since what?
Been like we're up to an afternoon at this point.
Okay, from this morning is what I mean. Okay, so B hasn't gotten to where she needs to go yet. Can we just, before we go,
Yeah.
we just have like a jump cut of what's going on?
Of course.
From their point of view.
I'd love nothing more.
Because it doesn't have to be anything crazy, but I just like the idea of him writing on B, but like in a human form, just talking about, one time I tended to. It's like that. And that's the entire thing.
Okay,
It's supposed to be a stealth mission.
Yeah, so he turns back into his human form while B is flying.
Nice, Varn. Wait, yeah, go ahead, Ellis.
Wait, did I miss a spicy meme? What did I miss?
No, just look in Halcyon.
Wow.
I like it.
Okay.
And what were you saying, Ellis?
I was saying that we're saying that Danric shifted back into human form mid-flight.
Yeah, he was. I like the idea that Danric got tired of being a mouse and decided to shift into a human form to start talking.
B, I know you can't talk back, but see this trees down here? That's a grove where I once spent an entire spring as a chipmunk. Very, very lovely area. And he just starts telling you facts about the about the forest.
You can tell these different trees apart by these simple, what is it? Numerical devices.
Yes.
F is for fur. F, because furs are very, shoot, what is the...
Furry?
I think it is. And then it's like pines for P, pines are pokey and square.
Yeah.
And then,
Pines are pokey.
what's the third one? There's 4. I know one of them starts with a J, and it's scaly, and that's all that I can remember. But anyways.
S is for spruce. Because there's
Yes.
spruce. I don't know. That's great. I feel like next week we will check in with Octavian and Safeguard, dealing with the Vanadori. at some point, obviously, right now, off camera, Addie's having some sort of meeting with her mother about something, and Lambless as well. And then in the morning, well, actually, hold on. Did we say that it's a round trip one day? I think we did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like, yeah, we'll also pick up their cake where B will get the intel that she's looking for, and then you'll be able to bring that back.
Ellis, what was the name of the strip club?
Dick's halfway in.
It's like as like the camera's like panning out at the end of this session, it just kind of zooms in on B's face, and it more or less looks like this.
Yeah.
Just, oh my god, help me. Stop, make it stop.
And this tree had a particularly interesting root pattern. It's very fascinating.
No, and the best part is just like he repeats himself, so I like hear the same the same 8 stories over and over again. Which reminds me, one time I turned into a giant badger.
It's like an NPC looping their dialogue.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great.
Oh my god.
Yes. Yes.
God, Ellis, I swear to God, when you said that Danrick, Danrick said he turned into a giant badger, I think to say like he spent a night with Tufa or something.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Tufa is a woman of class.
Wait.
On that cheerful note.
Super quick. Danrick is just doing Oblivion NPC dialogue.
Yeah. You there?
Watch for minotaurs in the forest. Aggressive beasts. They'll tear right through your armor, too.
What's going on with you? Good day.
That's great.
Hold there, citizen.
Oh my god.
Lots of dogs in this town. Lots of sheep, too. Of course, I prefer the taste of sheep. I just found a list of generic dialogue from Oblivion. This is pages of it.
It's like... God, I love that game so much. It's so jank, but I love it so much.
I know it. I played exclusively Oblivion and Fallout 3 for like an entire year, like 12 months, just those in the DLC.
Oh,
Wow. Impressive.
Impressive.
I won't tell you how much time I've got loaded in all my friggin' different games from Bethesda. I easily have probably about 7,000 hours
on Bethesda
in
games?
those games.
Wow.
On Bethesda games alone, yeah.
Wow. Speaking of Bethesda, wait, did Bethesda do Doom? No, right? No, I'm crazy.
They bought the rights to Wolfenstein.
Okay.
They own Wolfenstein now.
Bethesda publishes Doom. Id Software makes it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought of it because during the Black Friday sale, I spent like $20 in total, and I was able to get all the original Doom games. So like Doom 1993, Doom 2, 3, BFG, Resurrection 64, like five Doom games for like $7.
That's great.
And my friends made me get Borderlands 2, but it came with like a bunch of the DLC.
Sure.
And I got the DLC for Cuphead, which I'm very excited to try because it's called The Delicious Last Course, and it's just Cuphead 2, but you know, I'm super excited.
Yeah, like it or not, I went and bought the Tiny Tina's. Fucking love that. That game was well worth the money. Like the company or not, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
They still go and produce decent games.
I feel like I got that free on Epic, I think.
I mean, it's well worth playing.
Tiny Tina, yeah.
Oh yeah. She doesn't have quite as good lines, but it really goes into her character's backstory and shit like that, which is really awesome.
Yeah, I've got it. I got it on the
character
Epic
building.
Game Store.
Yeah, well worth playing. I loved it.
What's RPG in a box? That's free this week.
That is, I believe it's like Dungeon in a Box. It's just a bunch of different different like components and whatnot that you can use for building RPGs and shit.
Awesome.
All right. Well, I'll talk to you guys later.
Yeah. Thanks, Justin.
Yeah. Have a good night.
Yeah,
Take it easy.
I'm gonna hop off too, guys. Good night, guys. I'm
See ya.
Night cake. Thank
Good
you.
night.
Bye. Good night, everybody.
Night.
As Vorm would say, see ya. Right?
Probably.
That was
Anyway,
fun.
Alice,
Yeah.
fucking awesome. I adored that to
I-
no fucking end.
I needed an irreverent, stupid session, so thank you for your patience.
Dude, I loved it. I am in for it anytime you need one, man.
Mm-hmm. I feel
Piss
like
everybody else off or not, it doesn't matter.
I
As
feel-
long as you're having fun, I'm in.
I feel like a little sprinkle a little chaos, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, everybody needs a little Sheogorath in their life.
What is he like? Cheese.
Mm-hmm.
No cheese.
I know. No,
Sorry
no
about
more
the
cheese.
dogs earlier.
No more cheese. Oh, did you see how we just like? No, it's canon that
Yeah, they have dogs now.
Oscar Oswin, yeah, has got a couple of dogs.
Yeah. They also Pembroke Welsh corgis, or
Yeah, with your passive perception, so you notice that the dogs are pretty well fed, but Oscar's looking a little thin, maybe as if he's feeding the dogs off his own plate. This is
he like missing a hand too, so
There's a
like
war
the
on.
dogs.
Yeah, there's a war on.
Okay,
No missing hand.
the dogs can eat.
Mm-hmm. Like I don't know.
Chop.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a thing where like the siege is not the siege, but like the war's going on kind of a long time, and people are starting to kind of feel it a little bit. And there's a vocal minority kind of saying like, hey, Elswith, this sucks, but if you just turn yourself in, we can get back to normal. Do you know what I mean? Even though that's in the long run a really bad idea, you know. There's like a vocal minority.
Well, yeah, you're always gonna have those folks that are just, like bitching. They're tired and cranky and whatnot. They just want it to be over with.
Yeah, well,
so whatever's the easiest way out, they want to take.
Yeah, I mean, have you seen like the posters from like New York in like 1943 where it's like, make peace with Hitler? He didn't do anything to us. It's like, well, yeah, we could.
Yeah.
But
I was watching something earlier. Fuck was it? Kanye.
Oh God.
It's like
he needs mental help.
He needs a lot more than just mental help.
What's the guy's name? Is it Alex Jones? I think like he's trying to talk Kanye down. He's like, okay.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah, it's like, okay.
Because he was sitting in on some interview or something. He was wearing a fucking like puffy winter jacket with a
black hood,
fucking sock over his head or something like that.
Yeah,
like that's what I was watching. He was talking about fucking like the Nazis did nothing wrong.
Yeah. So like Alex Jones is like, oh, he's trying to help him out. He's like, okay, so I mean, you like the uniforms, I get it, but you don't like Hitler, right? And Kanye is like, no, I do. I specifically do. It's like, oh.
Right? He just doesn't know when to go and fucking call it quits.
But I'll tell you, somebody made like a point, and I don't know if it's I don't want to say false equivalency. I don't know. I think it's this, but like Britney shaved her head, and they kept her under this like conservatorship for 10 years where she couldn't do anything. This guy is just walking around the streets. You know what I mean? It's like, where's his like mental health like
and wants to run for president.
Yeah.
Again.
I just don't know. Elon had to ban him from Twitter because I read about it because the EU was going to ban Twitter if they didn't get rid of it, because you cannot make Nazi references like in Germany and like in the EU. You can't. It's illegal. So
somebody else was going to go and do that too. Was it China?
Probably.
Somebody else was going to go and do it as well, I think.
I
Not 100% sure, but
I'm way off topic, but I read a really interesting article about why did China and the USSR split. I never learned about this in school. I was kind of learning about like
This is off topic, but
Yeah.
I deadlifted. Sorry, I cannot speak today. I deadlifted 135 pounds this year. Yeah.
I'm gonna thank you because I was gonna start going off on a tangent about Mao and Stalin, and we don't need it. So good. And did you pull a muscle?
I was just putting that out there. I don't know. I think I'm